been
ready.
doing some digging.
Digging? God damn.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right,
trying to. I'm
hold on.
trying to. I'm trying to
I
get to
haven't
the.
stretched out yet, but I'll do my best.
I'm just trying to get to the bottom of some things. I want to understand what's happening in our country, and if
I
you
hear
have
you.
some more, then I'd like to be informed on it.
Cool.
So the asylum process, right?
Yeah.
How many people do you think realistically came across seeking asylum?
I think we have those numbers. Do you want me to look it up?
Yeah, let's try to find a good source on that.
From when to when?
Let's just say over the past 8 years, to be fair.
Uh,
Can you do them separate though? 4 years now, the past 4 years, and then the 4 years with Trump.
I don't know. Let me see. Maybe. Any of my mods in mod chat, if you guys have a link for that, I'm gonna have to look. Um, while I'm looking them up, do you want to explain it or? Oh, here we go.
Well,
Actually, I think
I'm
I
so
might
it's
have
going to
it.
be an all-encompassing kind of thing here because I'm going to kind of walk this into something that is more
So
relevant.
we were below the I know that's number of admitted. Let's see, regions of origin, refugee arrivals, but that's not by year. I mean, it might take me a little bit to find it,
Okay, can we
but
agree
we
that
might just
it's
agree.
a
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
little bit higher the past 3.5 years than it
Oh
was
yeah,
before that?
no question.
Okay, all right. So the process that was taking place before the Biden administration was remain in Mexico. Am I correct?
Only for a little bit. Most of Trump's administration didn't have remain in Mexico.
Okay.
That was basically a COVID policy.
What are some of the pros and cons of remaining in Mexico?
Well, for us, it's not like it's a pretty good deal. People have to stay there. They while they're waiting for asylum. For Mexico, it's a really really bad deal,
Right. Right.
which
Yeah.
is
I
why
mean, it
Mexico
sucks.
won't agree to it anymore. They're like, yeah, we're not doing that.
Well, it sucks for Mexico, but all in all, it probably sucks for the asylum seekers too. We can
Yeah,
agree
but
on that.
Mexico has to agree. That's the thing. Like Mexico has to agree to house asylum seekers that are trying to get into the United States. We can't just say like you guys have to stay in Mexico. If we do, that would have to go through Congress. Like we would have to go through Congress to change those laws. The only reason we could do it is because we had COVID. But like if Trump came back into office, he can't put remain in Mexico back in. No,
Okay.
no,
I'm
he
not.
can't do
Yeah.
it through an
I don't want to go
executive
down that rabbit
order.
hole. I don't want to go down the Trump rabbit hole right now. I
No,
just
no,
kind
no,
of
no,
want to
no. I was
understand.
just pointing out that like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who was president right now. Remain in Mexico would be gone. So to say like if you're using that to compare like which person do I want to vote for, then you do need to be aware that neither candidate can just put you remain in Mexico back in place.
Right. Right. But so what? Why are the numbers so much more astronomical over in the
I
Biden
like that word.
administration
It's a good word choice.
compared to?
So some of it's COVID related. Some of it is spending related, as far as like the United States pulling funding from other states or countries. Excuse me. Some of it is related to us interfering or slapping sanctions on people. Some of it's our fault. Some of it's not. But we're definitely at fault for a lot of the reasons why we have people at our southern border, and those reasons started like in 2018. 2018, Trump went and he started cutting this foreign aid that we were giving to countries, and the reason we were giving them foreign aid is because if we didn't give them foreign aid, they couldn't sustain themselves, and we would wind up just housing a bunch of people, right? And so that's why we've been giving foreign aid to all these countries. When Donald Trump said, I'm not going to give that foreign aid anymore, it destabilized economies. Then he went down into Venezuela, and in Venezuela, they staged a coup. It didn't work. So then he said, we're not buying your oil anymore, and that collapsed their entire economy. In fact, 4 days before Trump left office, he wrote an executive order saying this, saying like, yeah, we meddled in Venezuela. So there's a bunch of
Explain
Venezuelans
that
here.
coup.
Hold on real quick. Wait. Oh, explain what? Sorry.
Explain the coup. What would you define a coup in Venezuela?
Well, so there was you can look this up, but there were some former United States Special Services who were working as private contractors that were arrested in Venezuela. They were approaching on a boat with, I believe it was some Venezuelan nationals who were trying to overthrow their government. And they were thwarted quickly. And Venezuela, seeing that there was like United States Special Forces people there, said, "Oh, this must be the United States trying to do a coup." Now, is anybody proved that completely? No, but it's pretty obvious. I think we all know that. I think we all know that we use private contractors all over the world to do the business that
destabilize nations.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
for sure.
So then when Venezuela got mad, then Trump and Trump was trying to work out an oil deal where our oil companies could go drill in Venezuela, but their oil's nationalized. So Trump, the previous administration, had a friendlier agreement with them, and these big oil companies, all of Trump's donors, were like, "Hey, this is going to be a good deal for us." And then Maduro changed that, and so Trump said, "We're not buying your oil anymore." And then that collapsed their economy. That was 80% of, maybe I think 90% actually, 90% of their economy is oil, and we buy 50% of that. So literally overnight, they lost half their economy.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up. All right,
So that's why Venezuelans are here.
Okay, so before I forget this, you had mentioned something about 2018 that the problems really started because of Trump's presidency in 2018 with the asylum seekers, the surge in the astronomical number.
Well, that's
now,
what started the problem. We didn't
numbers-
see the problem until 2019.
So what data do you have that supports that?
So if you go look at border encounters, it breaks it out by year. You'll see that in 2019 we had a 500% increase in people.
Okay.
You remember, and even if you don't have that data in front of you, think back to Trump running for president last time. He was talking about migrant caravans. Even though he was the sitting president, he was saying, "Hey, we have these migrant caravans coming up from the south." And remember, that's post 2019, 2020.
So you're insinuating that Trump allowed this strictly for election reasons?
No, absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying his policy failed, and rather than take accountability for that, they have just decided to blame Democrats for it.
Okay, well, so you got 1 year of Trump's presidency, the surge, and then you have Biden come in, right, and become inaugurated and become president. Yep. And he actually didn't do anything to fix the problem. It actually got worse.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You have to have Congress pass a bill. Congress, in order for us to fix all these problems, we need funding, and Congress won't pass a border bill. There's nothing Joe Biden can do. No, executive orders don't include funding, but so an executive order is just like policy, but you can't change the law. In order to fix what's going on at the southern border, we need to change our asylum law. No amount of policies. These like Andy Biggs, he's my representative here in Arizona. He's always like, we just need to enforce the laws on the books. No bullshit. No, because if that were true, then it would have worked during Trump's administration, but it didn't in 2019. We have to change our amnesty laws if we want to fix this.
You need the money too. The money needs to be there. So
right.
Funding isn't
right, and that's through Congress as well.
Right.
So if Congress won't give him funding and won't change the law, I think it's fair to say, like, what are Republicans doing? Why are they sabotaging this?
Well, there was a shitty bill. That's what everybody says.
That's not what everybody says. That's actually only what Republicans in the House say. If you go listen to any Republican in the Senate, they all say it was almost all of them say it was a good bill. Some of them, like Lindsey Graham said, it's the most conservative border bill that we've ever seen. We will never get a better border bill than this, because Republicans at that time had leverage. See, Democrats, hold on, let me explain this. This helps explain it. Republicans at the time actually had leverage to get what they wanted. They didn't have the Senate. They had a majority in the House, but the Senate and the Democrats in the House wanted Ukraine funding. And you can't pass Ukraine funding without the Republicans in the House. So they had leverage. So they went to the Senate and they said, look, we'll give Ukraine funding, but it has to be attached to a border bill. And the Senate's like, fine, we'll do it. So they take a Republican, an independent, and a Democrat, and they put them in a room together for like 4 or 5 months. And they all come together and they write this bill and they give it to the Senate. And basically everybody in the Senate's like, yep, we can live with this. We get the Ukraine stuff. This is going to get much needed funding down to the border bill. The Border Patrol endorsed it. They're like, yes, please. It's not like it's not perfect, but please, we need this. And the House said, and remember, the House is the one that asked for this. So then it went back to the House. And then on the day before they were going to vote on it, Trump gives Mike Johnson a call and says, hey, I need to campaign on this. I've got a campaign on the border. Kill the border bill. And well, Mike Johnson says that. Trump says that. And James Langford says that. There are a myriad of people that were in the know that all agree, including Donald Trump, that he said that. You guys just don't believe it because
run on it. That he said he wants to run on it, or that he doesn't. That he wants to kill the bill.
That he killed the bill.
Does that mean he wants to? Did he?
Well, so is Mike.
I want to run on it.
Yeah. So what's the other reason then? Have you ever heard him articulate a reason why the bill was bad?
So I wouldn't say it's fair to blame it on the Republicans and Trump for stonewalling this bill when there is.
Well, he said blame me. He said blame me.
Okay, fair enough. If he wants to buy that and eat that, he can.
He says that it's his fault. Blame him, and you're like, I'm not going to blame him. Bro, what kind of sycophancy is this? No, for real. Like, no. Hold on. Let's throw politics out of this for a second. Man to man, you are looking at a man who's telling you, I did this, and because it's inconvenient for your argument, you're like, I don't believe him. But you'll believe him when he lies about other shit. Dude, this is silly. Man to man, this is silly.
You're misunderstanding me. Let me explain myself.
All right, I apologize.
So my point what I'm trying to get across here is that the reason why I don't believe that I think that his words were misconstrued. Yes, he did say, I'll take responsibility, blame me, I killed the bill. Okay, fair enough. But why did he kill the bill?
Find me a quote. Find me a quote from him as to why he killed the bill.
Why are people not understanding the fact that, if you guys have a perfect board, maybe the border bill wasn't fucking shit.
Wait, but hold on, Sean. We have to. Sean, hold on, real quick. If we're going to talk about, you asked the question, but I think one of the problems in the way that you research your stuff is you ask questions as if you can't find that answer. You said, what did Donald Trump say about why he killed the bill? Let's look it up. What did he say?
Okay, look it up, and then let me finish.
Well, I know what he said. But no. But Sean, you are putting your spin on why you think maybe
No, I'm not even talking about that subject, bro.
No.
You're not even letting
Sean.
me finish what I'm saying.
All right, go ahead.
My point is that people are like, the Democrats are saying that the Republicans killed the bill and they're the ones who are stonewalling it, when they should be saying, and it should be more public knowledge, that there was actually other, we have to do this if we're going to do that shit in the background. And I believe that Trump meant.
What do you mean by that?
Like you said, the funding to Ukraine.
That wasn't in the background. Everybody knew that. That was common knowledge. They were all saying it out loud. Both sides were saying it out loud.
I knew that. You know that, but not your average everyday American knows that when the media is spewing the Republicans killed the border.
Wait, hold on.
They're thinking it's just.
Wait, hold on, Sean, hold on. Wait, I just want to make sure. I want to make sure I understand you, Sean. Please. I want to make sure that I understand you. You're saying that yes, House Republicans, House Democrats, they all said that they wanted the bill together. So you're agreeing, but you're like, some people don't know that. So does that mean we should ignore? We should only talk about the evidence that like average everyday Americans know?
Because I think it's half truths.
We can't go past that.
I think it's half truths, and when you do half truths, that leads.
You're doing half truths. Excuse me, you're doing half truths. You don't know the full truth here. Okay, well then Sean. Then answer this for me. So if they're all saying like, it was tied, just answer it. They said it was tied to Ukraine funding. This is bullshit. Okay, well, we didn't pass the border bill, but you know what they did do, Sean? They passed the Ukraine funding. The Republicans passed the Ukraine funding. They chose to fund Ukraine instead of fund the border.
Not the same amount.
Yes, the same amount. The exact same amount.
So they cut the bill in half and did a single issue bill on that, but not the border.
Correct. They came together, the House Republicans, and this is why I'm telling you, Sean, please, do your very best here to get outside of politics and pretend this is something you know nothing about. and just hear
that's
both
why-
and hear the arguments. Just pretend you don't know, like you're entirely impartial. And I just want you to hear the timeline of events, and you tell me without your political spin what you think like actually happened here. So you have one group, and this group says, "Hey, we want this bill to fund a border," and the other group says, "Okay, we'll do it, but you have to fund this Ukraine war." And they're like, "Okay, done." And they say, "Who's going to negotiate it?" And they say, "This other group up here." They get along better. They'll negotiate it. They'll send it back to us. As long as they agree, we'll sign it. They're like, "Cool." So then that group gets together. They take a person from the right, the left, and the middle, and they they come together for months, and they write a bill. And the bill includes the Ukraine funding and the border funding. And then that bill goes back down to those people, those same people. Now remember, there were two sides. One said we want the border. One side said we want Ukraine. They both said, "All right, fine. We'll if we do them both, then we'll sign it." So that bill comes back, and one side says, "Okay, we've got the Ukraine funding. We're okay with the border." And the other side says, "No, we don't want this because we don't want to do Ukraine funding." And they're like, "Fuck." So then the bill doesn't pass. And then like a couple weeks later, that same group of people who denied the bill combined said, "Yeah, we'll vote for the Ukraine funding, but we're still not going to fund the border, even though Border Patrol says please, even though everybody already agreed to it." What other reason could there be other than Donald Trump wants to campaign on this?
So did they bring the bill to the table, the single issue bill for the border? Did they give it a shot? Did they vote on it?
No, they won't bring it to the Mike Johnson won't even bring it to the table. Republicans won't even allow it.
Are you sure it's Republicans, or are they getting
Yes,
stonewalled?
yes, they are. They can. If it wasn't Republicans, it would pass because you need a simple majority. So if Democrats controlled the House, it would pass.
Well, can't Democrats present it too?
No, because if you bring something, the Speaker of the House has to put it on the agenda. He won't bring it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
I know. Listen, this is one of those like breakthrough moments. I've been where you're at. This is a breakthrough moment. Oh my God, they're all lying to me. That's what's happening right now, Sean. You just found out that this massive talking point is a fucking lie. They're using it to campaign.
They're all using it to campaign. They're all lying.
Yes, but no. We're not lying. We're using it to campaign. We're saying we tried to fund the wall. You guys wouldn't allow it. And you guys are saying, no, that's not true. What's really true is what? What is really true? What are they saying?
Well, obviously that they're not willing to do a border bill because they might be using it to some sort of leverage.
Yeah. For a by the way, they're using it so that Donald Trump can win. The interesting thing is it's hurting them. Texas, Ted Cruz is in a toss-up now. Border states aren't seeing this as a win, but Republicans are doing it because Trump wants them to. So even if Trump were to win some of these states like Texas, what do you think the House is going to do? How do you think their state Senate's going to look? People are turning. People that are not dyed-in-the-wool Republicans recognize exactly what's happening. The only way you can look at Republicans and say this makes sense is if you've already decided everybody else is lying. We're the ones telling the truth. So even our lies, they must be truth because the other side is always lying.
I think that's fair to say for both sides.
It could be, but in this case, it's pretty obvious.
Right. I mean, you got a lot of because you said that there's diehard Republicans starting to see the light and then being like, "Oh, turning on Donald Trump" and saying that this is wrong. But there's also a lot of Democrats that are saying the same thing, and they're turning and they're. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard, and we already talked about her.
Well, but you
like
understand, like if you leave one party and then you go to the next party and you abandon all your views, regardless of who you are, is it fair to say maybe that person wasn't that principled in the first place? Because to me, it looks like Tulsi just wanted power because Tulsi tried to get power in the DNC. She tried to run for president. It didn't work out. So then she became like immediately from there, she started going on Fox News so that she could criticize Kamala. And then she was used as a surrogate to criticize Joe Biden, and now she's just over there. And now
And then you
and
got
now
RFK.
she's in with Donald Trump. To me, it looks like wherever the power or money leads her, she'll go.
Do you think that RFK is corrupt?
I don't know. I don't know if he's corrupt or he's. I think the
You're basically
best.
saying
I
the
think
selfish
let me
thing.
let me give you this. Let me just say this. I don't know where he is, but I would say the best picture of RFK that I could draw is a nepo baby who's been successful, is an effective communicator, and relies now on their own expertise way too much. I think he does a lot of incomplete research. I think if he feels good about something, he believes it's true. And I think that's a dangerous place to be. And I think a lot of people get to be that way around his age or a little bit before. Like people become more conservative, meaning they just are set in their ways. So it feels like the world is passing them by. I think that's who he
I
is.
agree
Like,
with you on that.
yeah.
I agree with you on that. I think the older you get, and you don't even have to be that old, the more comfortable you get and more like secluded you get, the more conservative you get because you don't want things to change. You're more focused on yourself and your family, your immediate family. It's about me, make sure I'm okay, and then I can make sure everybody else is okay. But RFK, I believe in a lot of his policies and his talking points. He has some great points about keeping America healthy. I don't think you can disagree with that. I think his intention.
Here's my frustration with that, and maybe this like RFK says I want to get these food additives out of food. I want our children to be more healthy, and yet weirdly, and this is why I have a problem with him, and I think that he's just arrogant. Those views align with the left. And he's not willing to but he's not willing to abandon his anti-vax stuff. So he's like, I'm going to go to the right where they're cool with anti-vax, but they're actually not going to do anything about these other things. Like they're running on ending the FDA. How the fuck are we going to keep stuff out of food without the FDA? We just going to be on the honor system?
I agree with you on that. I think that's a very
Yeah.
scary.
And if you remember when Michelle Obama was first lady, like she tried to, because they all have their agenda, she just wanted to make school lunches healthier. And the Republicans were trashing her all the time, like, don't tell us what to eat. We can eat what we want. If my kid wants a cookie, my kid will eat a cookie. Like they are not the party that is going to make America healthier. They won't give us universal health care. They won't ever interfere with capitalism putting shit in our food. They're not worried about clean air, clean water. This is not the party of making us healthy. So I'm left to just then say, I think RFK only cares about anti-vax, and this other shit is just stuff he says to get people in the door. Because he had the opportunity to either drop the anti-vax or drop this shit, and he really did drop this shit because he went with the
Well, I think
Republicans.
Well, so let's just be kind of like central ground here and be fair. RFK, I believe it's a big help to Donald Trump by him endorsing him and coming on board because if it's true what you say that you don't think the Republican Party cares about our health, cares about our food or whatever, it's been known that Donald Trump is not a Republican, Democrat, or any of the establishment. He is his own fucking party. He is
Yeah,
MAGA.
he's like alt-right. Yeah.
So because they can't stand the fucking guy and probably would rather not have him in there. But
I
when
think
it
most
comes
of them.
but he's doing so well and numbers
But
don't
he's
lie.
not. He's doing terrible. He's
Listen, you got
he's a
half of
failed
America.
one-term president. He got indicted or he got impeached twice. He's been literally every time he goes to court, they find him either guilty or that the evidence is so significant that he should have to pay damages. And that's happened
You think
4 times.
all
That's happened
Biden-
4 times. If he's 4 for 4. 4 out of the 4 times he's went to jail, they've either said you're guilty or the evidence is so overwhelming against you that you have to pay punitive damages. And it's you guys want us to to look at Joe Biden, whose son was a drug addict and had some questionable deals, and you're like, that is crazy. What are you talking about, man? This guy's just a criminal. And he's racist, and he's xenophobic, and he's a bigot, and he's all the worst things. A 78-year-old white dude really shouldn't be president, and I can say that about Joe Biden as well. Like, neither one of these guys
I
represents anything close to America. But Donald Trump is so much further away from representing like the whole of America. I don't understand why you guys like him. I really don't.
look, I don't like him.
I don't know.
like
Let me
him.
change that. I don't understand why anybody can justify voting for him.
Okay, so look, all right, let's back. You said a lot there. I just want to back
Go
up.
ahead. Yeah.
So let me just ask you a rhetorical question. Are there bad liberals and Biden and Harris supporters?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So are there bad Trump supporters?
Yes.
Are there good of both parties?
Yes.
Okay, so it's fair to say that what would you split that up into? Like, so half and half on each side, so a quarter each.
No, I think most people are good. Even the people that I disagree with vehemently on here, who say things that I think are awful, I think like they are trying. I think most people try to be good. I really do, and I think people can be manipulated into doing bad things when they think they're doing good things.
Right. And there's no real way to know. You're always going to be every person's going to be in their own box and have their own outlook on shit. And they're going to believe what they want to believe at the end of the day.
Yeah, but I'm not voting. But I'm not voting for voters, right? I agree with what you're saying. Like, it would be hard to tell. And just to be fair, let's say that it's 50-50 on both sides, good people versus bad people. But I'm looking at candidates, and you've got one.
Right.
You have literally the most corrupt candidate of all time, and it's not close. Nobody has ever been more transparently corrupt and dishonest than Donald Trump. And on the other side, I've got somebody who it appears like her biggest problems are that she laughs. She forgot to save her pay stubs from working at McDonald's, and for some people think that she's not black. Like, those are the things. And I'm looking at the other guy who's like he's a felon. He's been civilly held liable. And when I say civilly held liable, I think we soften that when we say that. In a civil court, if the evidence is overwhelming that you're guilty, you have to pay. That's what happened. The court said it's overwhelming that you sexually assaulted this woman. You've got to pay, and you have to pay for defamation. Right? Those aren't even comparable. Even if, let's say all those things about VP Harris were true. Let's say that she didn't work at McDonald's, that she was lying about her race, and that her laugh was fake.
Identity.
Even if all three of those things were lies, they don't come close to making me as concerned as putting in a morally corrupt criminal. Those aren't even crimes. Those are just attempts to smear her character. Trump is an actual criminal.
It should be a crime if you lie about your identity as a presidential candidate. It's called fraud. It's called.
How many names has JD Vance had? Did JD Vance lie about being raised? How come he has to go back now and rewrite history after he said he was raised like in Appalachia?
You're justifying her.
No, I'm saying no. We're saying the same thing. So even if I'm granting you, even if all that stuff was true about Kamala, you wouldn't hold that for JD Vance. How about Donald Trump? He has bragged repeatedly about being a great student. Why did he sue or threaten to sue every school he attended not to release his transcripts?
He believes he was a great student. That's what he believes, and that's
no. He said he got good grades.
So he didn't?
Well, he won't release it.
So how do you know if he did or didn't?
I don't. And how do you, same thing, all these things with Kamala, you don't know. So let's talk about the stuff. But even if we say all the things that are said about her are true and all the things that are said about Donald Trump are true, or even not the things that are said about him, if we took all the things that are said about Kamala versus all the things that are verifiably true about Trump, he's worse by a million miles. It's not even
But
close.
we could agree that you know what you're getting with Trump, and you don't know. What
Yes,
you're
a
getting.
criminal though. Yeah, but I know I'm getting a criminal. I do not want a criminal. I do not want somebody
They're all
who will look
criminals.
out for them before the country. That is crazy. It's like saying, here is a random stranger. You don't know what they're going to do. And here is a man who is definitely going to kick you in the dick 50 times. And
Well,
you're
he
like,
didn't do it 4
well, I
years
don't
ago.
want to be surprised. So spread him and dick kick. It's
He
like,
didn't do it last term.
yeah, he did. He was terrible. He got impeached
When
twice,
did he kick you
dude.
in the dick? When
He
did
got
kick you in the
impeached.
dick?
He got impeached twice.
Okay, impeachment hoax number 1 and impeachment hoax number 2.
No, he got impeached twice. And if you want to go over that evidence at any time, feel free, brother. But it's damning. He absolutely did what he absolutely was involved in January 6th. So much so that they have enough evidence that they indicted him. So a higher level of evidence than is required for removal. Like it is harder to get an indictment than a removal because the Senate gets to vote. They get to vote, and you don't even have to commit a crime to be removed as president. The Senate can remove you without you committing a crime. So the very
a
thing they
violation.
impeached him for, he also has been indicted for. A higher level of evidence.
Yeah, I got a violation.
You did?
Yeah. You don't see
You
it?
want, no, you want to drop down and come back up?
Yeah, I'll come back up.
Hey, guys. I see Rickster and Shu in the box, too. We'll be done in a minute. If you're opposition, go ahead and hang out for a second. But, he might not be able to go live again, actually. Sometimes that happens. Rickster and Shu, are either of you guys opposition? Got to defend Kamala more? No, I don't need to defend Kamala. Honest to God, I don't. Defend her with what? Like, I think that we get to, like, they don't care, one. So I think it's a much better strategy to show people that they are being hypocritical. So that's why I said, like, even if we grant everything they say about Kamala, what was the problem? What's so bad? Even if everything they say about her is true. So it's not nearly as bad. All right, Shu. Oh, he did. He said he can't come back. Yeah, I thought maybe that would happen. What's up, Shu?
No, take me down.
Gotcha. All right. Didn't the other person leave? All right, box is empty. If you're a Republican, feel free to hop in that box. Let me check comments. Welcome, everybody. We got right into it. I feel like I didn't even get to say hi. Welcome, everybody. It's Friendly Friday. I hope you enjoyed the first 37 minutes there. As a reminder, this is streaming on YouTube. It's also streaming on TikTok. And I forgot I was going to do Twitter today, and I never pushed start. I was going to try and stream on Twitter. Venmo and Cash App are right below me. I'll read damn near any message. The gift goal is $169 as always. And I look forward to talking to you guys in person shortly. Raina says, for Sean's education. I like Sean. How frustrating is Sean for you compared to others? I live for those conversations, so I don't think I get as upset. A lot came in. Thank you guys so much. Anne Marie for trying to enlighten MAGA. Thank you. Toby said, hi, my name is Sean Patrick, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. Oh, that's not nice. He's trying. I give him credit. I think he's trying to get to the right answers. Robert says, why did the emo kid get thrown out of Disneyland? Oh, Christ. Jesus. I don't endorse this for cutting in line. Oof. Brian says, the Oklahoma senator who created the bill was endorsed by Trump for being strong on the border. Trump told Mike Johnson not to bring the bill to the floor because he wanted to run on the border issue and didn't want to give Joe any type of political win. Facts, Brian. Facts on facts on facts. Lisa says, I asked Sean what Trump's old balls taste like. He answered, depends. Sean, if you're still here, I hope you laughed at that one. That's great, Lisa. Chelsea said, from Bevy B on TT. That's TikTok, I assume. Every time the border makes U.S. headlines, coyotes use it to manipulate the needy. Stability is key to ending mass waves of migrants. Title 42 ending caused the wave mid-Biden administration. They were all there waiting. True. Very true. Good point, too. Well done, Chelsea. And then Amber says, he's no tie or shuck it. That's a compliment. Consider that a compliment, Sean. Well done. Let me add real quick. All right. 4 to 5. Let me change this gift goal here. One of these times we'll figure out a way to automate this so that Jen can do it. I apologize. I know this must be obnoxious when I have to adjust this goal. Automate this. Automate this so that Jen can do it. I apologize. I know this must be obnoxious when I have to adjust this goal. What in the world was that? Jen, I might have to disconnect you. There we go. You guys hear me okay? You guys hear me? Lagging? Good, good. That was weird. It was like the puzzle piece thing, but then it didn't. It never pulled up a puzzle piece, so I don't know what that was all about. All right, cool. Let me get to the outline. It's over here. Somebody actually brought up Oklahoma. I thought you were bringing this up. One of those comments that came through, but I feel like we might as well start with this story. I think that makes the most sense. This is from the Oklahoman, which is everybody's favorite newspaper. I don't know if you guys saw this today. Trump Bible, one of the few that meet Walters' criteria for Oklahoma classrooms. This is Ryan Walters. By the way, I saw like videos of them praying to start meetings. That's so fucking weird to me. So weird. Oh, sorry guys. It looks like it's lagging. If it's lagging, swipe out and then swipe back in. Just leave the live and come back, and it sounds like that'll fix it. Bids opened Monday for a contract to supply the Department of Education with 55,000 Bibles. According to the bid documents, vendors must meet certain specifications. Bibles must be the King James Version and must contain the Old and New Testaments. All right, well, that's sensible, right? First of all, what the fuck are we doing with Bibles in school? Why is the state paying for Bibles? But at least, like, okay, those bids will be easy. Bibles must be the King James Version, must contain the Old and New Testaments, must include copies of the Pledge of Allegiance. Uh-oh, that's not in there. Also must have the Declaration of Independence. Uh-oh, that's not in there. U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and it must be bound in leather or leather-like material. I have many leather-bound books. What the fuck? Do they go to... Is this the Ron Burgundy putting this legislation through? So they talked to a salesperson at somewhere called Mardel Christian and Education. And there are 2,900 different Bibles. None of the Bibles that they sell fit that description, but only one fits that description. Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA Bible, endorsed by former President Trump and commonly referred to as the Trump Bible. $60 each online, and Trump receives fees for the endorsement. He endorsed, I didn't even know it was, he got an endorsement deal with Jesus. But Jesus got endorsed by Donald Trump. Jesus came to Trump and said, hey, I really respect you, and I would just love to have your endorsement. And Trump's like, yes. Do you want me to put it right on the cover of your book? And he's like, yeah. Also, could you please include the Founding Fathers documents so that Christians everywhere else in the world know that they're not real Christians and fuck them. God bless America. And Trump's like, I'm on it. I'm on it. I've got just the thing. That's crazy. The RFP on its face seems fair. This is, by the way, this is the purchase, right? It seems fair. Well, no. First of all, you're buying fucking Bibles. We're buying Bibles with school money. Teachers can't get a raise, but God damn it if we can't buy a bunch of Bibles. The RFP on its face seems fair, but with additional scrutiny, we can see there are very few Bibles on the market that would meet these criteria, and all of them have been endorsed by Donald Trump. It's a fucking grift right in front of us. It is a grift right in front of us. Right, Trump went there, they created a Bible, and they're like, hey, Oklahoma, you guys are so goddamn dumb. Can you just Can you just make the state pay for all the shit? Like, are they going to buy? I bet they buy 179 watches soon for gifts, right? Every Oklahoma Senate member must wear Trump sneakers. If your tie does not cover your dick, you're going home. That's the rules in Oklahoma. It's crazy. Drew Edmondson, the former attorney general, said, "It appears to me that this bid is anything but competitive. It adds to the basic specification other requirements that have nothing to do with the text. The special binding and inclusion of government documents will exclude almost all bidders." I feel like they edit out the part where they said, "and is fucking weird." If the bids exclude, they're talking about this like the fact that they're buying Bibles isn't absolutely insane. That's what's crazy to me. They're just like, well, it's sensible, but there are some things that worry me. But none of those things that worry you is that your state is buying Bibles. They're literally, and they're buying Bibles, by the way, only Christian Bibles. If you are Jewish, New Testament's not your thing. If you're Muslim, New Testament's not your thing. I don't know. I think Muslims use the Old Testament, or at least revere it. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that, along with the Torah. But yeah. And what about us Mormons? Where's the Book of Mormon? Where's my Book of Mormon representation? You guys need to know that Joseph Smith, as a young boy, saw an angel in a grove of trees, and that angel said, "I'm going to give you a big-ass gold book that would be impossible to carry for a grown man, but don't worry, I'll bring it to you, and it'll be written in Reformed Egyptian." Right? Where's that? Where's my representation? You guys need to know that the reason that the Native Americans here in America had darker skin is because it was a curse from the Lamanites. That's why we called them the Lamanites. Where's my representation as a Mormon? I think there's talks of cursed skin in the Bible. That's crazy, right? Like we now have a book in a state that says the reason your skin is dark is because of your ancestors. Right? Because of excuse me. That's why it is anyways. That was dumb. The decisions of your ancestors. Right? Like they were, as the Book of Mormon says, white and delightsome, and then because of the the decisions from their ancestors, their skin is dark. That's a book in school now. It's a real book. When they talk about they're gonna now have to talk about, like in when they're learning about the weather, and they're learning about geology. Maybe they're like, all of these canyons. The Grand Canyon was formed when people were too gay and God flooded the earth and the whole earth except for one boat, and then when the water drained, we got the Grand Canyon. So that's what they're going to be teaching in school now, I guess. Just don't do it again. And that's where we're headed again. That's what they'll teach you. Same things. If you look back at the city with gay people in it, Sodom and Gomorrah, your wife might turn into a pillar of salt, and then you'll be forced you'll be taken advantage of by your two daughters so that they can get pregnant and make a new village. That's a book that's going to be in school. Of all the books that have been banned, the worst stuff is in the Bible. Like the absolute worst stuff is in the Bible. Like if you get your friend's wife pregnant, the best thing to do is send him to the front lines in war. That's what we're doing. It's crazy. We live in a crazy world. Shout out Oklahoma. Is anybody in here from Oklahoma? Do we have any Oklahomans here? I'm so sorry if you live in Oklahoma. Kyrena says to steal Haley's seat. Great. We're back to that. We're back to the seat. Terrific. Alicio says monthly payment from Soros and the DNC. Love the lives and appreciate you standing up for what's right. Thank you, Alicio. Thank you, George. I call him Georgie. Amber says Seahawks fan husband says, what's with the 49ers? They suck. Yeah, great game you guys had last week. How'd that go? Keep your mouth shut up there in Seattle. Jumar says, I have a very important announcement. Cannonball! Can who come up and talk about Oklahoma? Sorry. Oh, Swatson, well done. Can I get off this ride, please? Who's trying to talk about Oklahoma? I don't know. I was just wondering. No, it's all right. I was just wondering. I just wanted to tell her, just tell your daughter, I'm sorry that she lives in Oklahoma. That's terrible. I hope things get better. But after I spent all this time bashing bad Christians, I wanted to be fair, and I'm going to show you a very, very good Christian. And for any Christians that are in here, I'd imagine that this is the type of Christian you are. Otherwise, you would probably be in some like dirtbag live right now instead. But I loved this.
Some of you bring politics into the church. You think that politics is spiritual stuff. Politics is of this world. You think it's your duty to be political about this, that, and the other. No, your duty is to serve the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, body, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Don't be talking to me about my spiritual responsibility to vote. I don't have a spiritual responsibility to vote. I have a civic privilege. Don't be telling me that voting is spiritual.
Whew.
See, that's what happens when you don't read and pray. When you don't read and pray, you say, wow, there's a Bible out now that includes the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Isn't that wonderful? No. No, it's disgusting. It's blasphemous. It's a ploy. Are you kidding me? Some of you are so...
If you guys are just getting here, I announced previous to starting this video, I've converted back to Christianity, and this is my way of telling you.
encouraged by that? Let me tell you something. The gospel is not an American gospel. It is the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Check out Standing O Guy. There's a guy, Standing O Guy. I like
Pastor,
Standing
I bought
O
the
Guy.
Bible. Really? You're telling me that you're encouraged because someone took a government, U.S. Constitution, a document that says we are of the people, by the people, and for the people. The people, the people, the people. And
It's
you
the
have put
people,
it
not
right
the
beside
steeple.
Word of
Trademark.
God,
Trademark.
which is eternal,
That's mine.
unchanging.
You heard it
which
here.
says, of him, by him, through him, to him, from him are all things. And you're going to put those together and be happy about it? God forbid. Now, you can get mad if you want to, but I'm going to tell you something. If you glory in that kind of thing, you don't have a prayer life. If you glory in that kind of mess, political mess, you do not know what the Word of God says. I'm going to rear back and tell you something. This is not my home. This world is not my home. I've been sent out
His
just
oyster.
like the 70 were sent out.
Oh, never mind.
You've been
Sorry.
put here and sent out just like the 70 were sent out. We've been put here as strangers and pilgrims, and we are passing through. I am just walking through. I'm just renting an apartment for a little while in this strange and foreign land. No, sir. My real citizenship is in heaven, from which we look for the Lord Jesus.
Woo! That yippee timing was perfect. I don't know if you guys get the same timing because there's a weird delay, but that yippee timing was absolutely perfect. Yeah, it's preacher speak there. It was a little wild. Some people like that, but again, I think one of the real problems that we have, and frankly, why I think religion is dying, is because of the conservatism in religion. Just looking back over the course of the world, you know what religion has always done? It's evolved with the culture. Now, it's behind the culture. It's always behind the culture. But eventually, a church either dies or it evolves with the culture. And right now, there are a lot of people, like, we're just at that boomer stage. I think it may be just like that wave, that generation. They lived through a lot of amazing things, and they couldn't watch it on their phone. Maybe it was easier to believe in miracles back then. I don't know. But they're refusing to change, and that's why we're seeing religion dying. You'll see that churches like this and more progressive churches, those are the only ones that are growing right now. Except for I guess there was that one guy that turned his church into a MAGA church and did better. Then it just turned into like a Tucker Carlson, in the angry version. The Pope's evolved. Yeah. My former church has evolved. Somebody was messaging me. Sorry, I don't remember who it was. Somebody asked me about the Mormon church yesterday. And the difference between like the Mormon church and Warren Jeff's church and how the prophets worked. But that's one of the things, like the Mormon church used to be polygamist. And then when the government came and the United States were like, guys, that's gross. Don't do that. And then the United States government put a little pressure on them to become a state. And so they dropped it. They evolved. They changed their mind. Used to not, then you had dry counties. That changed. No more dry counties in Utah. Then it was like, then we weren't going to do marijuana. Now it's marijuana. Gay marriage, the Mormon church fought against it. Now they're pretending that like they're inclusive. It always happens to every church. Or the evolve or die. That's kind of how it works. That's how humanity works. That's why I don't want to be a conservative. I feel like being a conservative is just like giving up. Like you're like, I'm done growing. I'm done with this shit. I'm so tired of having to learn new things. I'm just gonna give that up. All right. Let me switch back to this one. I won't do Jack Smith stuff again. Like while we're on it, while we're just watching incredible videos, let's go back to back. This is the best thing I saw all day. This video is 13 minutes long. This is Tina Peters. I'm done growing. Raise your hand if you love Tina Peters. Now, Tina Peters was the Mesa, I think Mesa County is where she's from. Is that in Colorado? And Tina Peters is a traitor. Tina Peters has been seen on stage with Trump multiple times, and Tina Peters did everything she could to steal an election. And I'm gonna with you guys, I'm gonna watch 13 minutes of a judge, an impartial judge, rip apart Tina Peters. And the reason I want to show this, and the reason I think this video is important, is because there's a handful of people, probably 100 to 200 people in this country right now that are planning on doing exactly what Tina Peters did. Exactly. They're going to try and do it in Arizona. They're going to try and do it in Georgia. They're going to try and do it in Michigan. They're going to try and do it in Pennsylvania. They sure as shit are doing it in Ohio. And they should all see this, because Tina Peters thought she was a patriot and she was an old Karen and that nobody would fuck with her. And she was wrong.
Here, the defense has, and Ms. Peters in particular, has remained quite defiant, which is her right, but certainly not helpful for her lot today. And in arguing why I should impose a particular sentence, she tells me about her ailments, her loss, her struggles in life. But in reality, for those of you who may have been here earlier this morning and seen some of the folks who've occupied that chair before Ms. Peters, there could be not much in the way of a comparison in terms of the type of sympathy one would extend to Ms. Peters.
And what we're talking about here is Ms. Peters, like all cowardly Karens, once it was evident that she was going to lose, she started going back and trying to relive her trauma and the things in her life that went so wrong that brought her here. And the judge is having none of that.
Those folks didn't have 4 lawyers representing them. They didn't have a team of assistants helping them. They're not getting rides in private jets all over the country. No, the people who sit in that chair suffer, generally speaking, immeasurable trauma in life, struggle mightily with alcohol abuse, substance abuse, mental health struggles, family loss. They come from broken homes, the cards they were dealt were never the cards that you were dealt, Miss Peters. So when I hear you discuss your husband, who sadly passed away recently, your family struggles, and your son, who served our country admirably and made the ultimate sacrifice, I consider it. And I note too that he honored his oath to the country, something that is not lost on me when considering the circumstances under which you find yourself here. Your age, limited criminal history, and the like are certainly somewhat mitigating. Your ties to the community are what they are, but your reputation at this point is poor because of what you've done here and after.
It's poor.
Your lies are well documented, and these convictions are serious. I'm convinced you would do it all over again if you could. You're as defiant as a defendant as this court has ever seen. You don't have those histories of drug and alcohol abuse. There's no lifetime of trauma, not even close to the type of mitigating circumstances I would see from many folks who sit in that chair. No, to the contrary, Ms. Peters, you are a privileged person. You are as privileged as they come. And you use that privilege to obtain power.
Somewhere MAGA's like, that's woke. That judge is woke. He used the word privilege. I can't spell privilege, but I know that it means woke.
And fame. And to be sure, there's no doubt in my mind that that is exactly what you wanted, and it defies all sense of common sense to believe when you suggested to me a few moments ago that you didn't want this attention. No, you crave it, ma'am. And there is no one in this room who would consider that to be anything other than the absolute truth. But to get to the point of what it is that you did here.
I don't know. He's on page 2 now. He's just on page 2. The guy he wrote it out. This is a diss track that he wrote out, and it's pretty good. It's not they not like us, but it's close. It's a little lengthy and the beat's not great, but the substance is pretty good.
It's my impression distinctly that you never took your job of clerking particularly seriously. You didn't complete the certification. One scandal after another followed you in your time as the clerk. And ultimately, it was a belief that the echo chamber in which you live couldn't be wrong, among other things, that led you to do what you did here. This thought process, unfortunately, seems to consume so many in our country, regardless of race, gender, political affiliation, or the like, that what it is we hear and think can't possibly be wrong. There are many things in my mind that are crystal clear about this case. You are no hero, you abused your position, and you're a charlatan.
You are no hero,
who used
and a charlatan.
And is still using your prior position in office to peddle a snake oil that's been proven to be junk time and time again. In your world, it's all about
snake oil salesman. That's tough.
But at bottom, this case was about your corrupt conduct and how no one is above the law. No one in this country has absolute power. Your position as a clerk and recorder, a constitutional position, does not provide you with a means by which to do your own investigation, to not listen to the judiciary, to not listen to the executives higher than you, to not listen to the legislature who sets the law as it may be. This is nonsense. Our system of government can't function when people in government think that somehow, some way, the power they've been given is absolute in all respects. And that's where you fell.
By the way, so for anybody who's wondering, just coming in, this is Tina Peters. She was, I think it's Mesa County election clerk. Was she a clerk or just an official? I think just an official, maybe. She helped facilitate a break-in and a breach of the voting machines, gave unauthorized data to people like Mike Lindell. She was court ordered not to do so. She did so. She's been lying about it. She's been held up at Trump events at Mar-a-Lago. He's brought her on stage, called her a hero. This is somebody that MAGA has been holding up as like this arbiter of truth. And this judge is just absolutely, she was a clerk. Thank you. Judge absolutely eviscerates her.
You have no respect for the checks and balances of government. You have no respect for this court. You have no respect for law enforcement. And you do not have respect for your fellow colleagues when you were a clerk and recorder who weren't lockstep in your beliefs. Period. Indeed, just weeks before trial, you were apparently doing what I mentioned earlier, that is, over at the clerk and recorder's office where you're not supposed to be, violating the protection order by speaking to employees of that entity.
Sorry, Jen, can you appeal that? Can you see if you can appeal that warning we just got? It's weird. I got a warning for like controlled substances. That's bizarre.
With your camera crew.
Oh, wait, let's see if this helps. They may have seen me put in a pouch. Maybe that's what it was. It's not a pouch. It's a nootropic. And I'm embarrassed to say it, but I'm going to do it for TikTok in case you're watching. This is called Alpha. It's called Alpha. It's a pouch and it's a nootropic. It doesn't have, it's not a controlled substance. No nicotine in there. There you go. TikTok.
Crew in tow.
Did I say marijuana at some point? Ah, shit. Well, now I said it again. All right.
You have no qualms with violating the court's orders because you're innocent, because you didn't do anything wrong. You were
Don't
just
ever call me
doing
beta,
your
folks.
job. You have no problem trying to kick an officer. Your explanation about what happened is preposterous. It's on video. You have no problem lying to officers. It's happened multiple times. They're recorded conversations. It's just more lies. No objective person believes them. No, at the end of the day, you cared about the jets, the podcasts, and the people fawning over you. You abdicated your position as a servant to the Constitution, and you chose you over all else. Yes, you are a charlatan, and you cannot help but lie
Times
as
two.
easy it is for you to breathe. You betrayed your oath for no one other than you.
I think there was like one other person. By the way, Tracy says back to Christianity. Block! Sorry, Tracy. Jesus saves, you know? Renee says, wasn't sure if you read this yesterday. In the Republican-led state legislatures, if they vote to overturn the election results, can the governors veto their vote? I don't know. That's a good question. I need to find that out, Renee. I'm not sure. I would imagine. I don't. That's the thing. Like they can veto it if it's a bill, but I don't know a certification if the governor has that power. If anybody finds a link on that, let me know. Yeah, charlatan times 2. By the way, that's the second time he's called her a charlatan.
And this is what makes Miss Peters such a danger to our community. It's the position she held that has provided her the pulpit from which she can preach these lies. The undermining of our democratic process, the undermining of the belief and confidence in our election systems. It's not about questioning it. No one says you can't question, you can't ask. It's completely different. And if you don't understand that distinction, then there's nothing I can say or do here today.
That's what drives me nuts about this entire MAGA movement. And it really is like the dumb, it just flipped the GOP. It's the same people, but like now the dumb people are in charge. And so they get to say things like, I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions. But it's like if you get pulled over and you keep asking to see proof that you were speeding, and they keep showing you the radar, and they have a video of you driving past one of those like radar lit up signs, and there's like another cop who also radared you, and you have 3 people having you on radar speeding, and you're like, where's the evidence? What does that prove? Like that's who these people are. Like there is not an amount of evidence possible for them to change their mind. And that's why I think the judge, like out of frustration here, is like, look, at some point we have to just not allow people to just be incompetent all the time and feign like, oh, I'm just asking questions. You're not asking questions. You're following orders. And one of those orders is that when you get caught following orders, say, I'm just asking questions.
That will change your mind. So the damage that is caused and continue to be caused is just as bad, if not worse, than the physical violence that this court sees on an all too regular basis. And it's particularly damaging when those words come from someone who holds a position of influence like you. Every effort to undermine the integrity of our elections and public's trust in our institutions has been made by you. You've done it from that lectern the voting public provided you with. Everything you've done has been done to retain control, influence, the damage is immeasurable. And every time it gets refuted, every time it's shown to be false, just another tale is weaved. So I'll begin by saying I've considered all of those purposes of staying of an execution of a sentence. I've mentioned all of them here generally in my comments.
Someone said this. Who said that? Is this a moment of zen? It's a moment of zen for who said that? Whoever that was that said that. Red Wolf. It's a moment of zen for Peters. Yeah, inside she's screaming. This is the longest she's ever had to listen to things that that differed with her opinion. Thanks, Red Wolf. Yeah, there's no way she has heard anybody speak about something different than her opinion for more than 12 seconds. You know that she's the person who, when questioned by anybody, just goes, fake news, sheep, you guys are all sheep. You're all part of the fake news liberal media. She doesn't get to do that because this is a judge.
Already, and I find that a stay of any sentence I impose would be wholly unwarranted. All cases have a possibility of reversal on appeal, no doubt. I'm at peace with all of the decisions I've made here. If anything, I gave you and your counsel far too much leeway at times, but the rulings I made came after much consideration, incredible amounts of internal debate, and
being a judge for any sort of like MAGA related court is so different than being a judge in any other court, because you do, like, they're so crazy and that their lie machine is so prolific that even just misspeaking, even stumbling over your words, any connection you have that makes you look even remotely biased is on Fox News that night. So these judges have to literally, like he's saying, like, I gave you too much leeway. I gave you probably too much rope, but here you are, and I have to do that because if I treat you like I treat everybody else, your privileged little asses will cry about it. And that's really like what MAGA is. MAGA's grief, the thing that they're all complaining about, is that they're starting to be treated like other people. People are starting to treat them like they've treated women. Actually, that's not true. We still treat them as equal. Not even that. They just have to treat people equally. I take it back. They're not getting bad treatment. I shouldn't make them the victims. They're not. But they feel like victims. When they can't tell other people what to do or what to believe, they're like, I'm a victim now.
I trust in accordance with the applicable law. I consider the sentence here, in this case, what are available to me. Probation. Community corrections wasn't requested, but it wouldn't be an option in any event, and an incarcerative sentence to the Department of Corrections. Probation's focus is rehabilitation. That is, for folks who have minimal criminal histories, low LSI scores like you, Ms. Peters.
I did hear, though, that she, when finding out that there was a large LGBTQ population in prison, she was delighted. She was like, oh, those are my people. And then you guys missed this because it was during court. Her attorney leaned over to her and said, the Q is not for QAnon. And she was like, fuck. And then, anyway, you guys missed that. That was part of the court case, though.
But where punishment isn't really on the table. It's about putting someone back in the community who's not a risk and giving them a chance to correct those things that brought them before me in the first place. Community corrections, which again isn't available, but nevertheless I'll mention, is another option that I could still order.
For anybody coming in, this is Tina Peters.
Probation, but it's not prison. And it's for folks who have even higher needs. Again, drug addicts, alcohol abusers, and the like. And prison is for those folks where we send people who are a danger to all of us. Whether it be by the pen or the sword or the word of the mouth. Prison is where folks go, where punishment is what we're focused on, because the crime committed is so significant that anything less would unduly mitigate the seriousness of the same. I mentioned before there are no mental health concerns. There's no good reason why you're here, Ms. Peters, other than these are all the active decisions that you made that cost our county significantly, but also more importantly, cost you greatly, Mr. Wood, all the members of the county who worked and trusted you when you asked them to do things that they did on your behalf. It's part of your lies. the expense, the toll is immeasurable. So putting you on probation
Welcome,
when you
Gen
have
X
zero
cliche.
needs that would be met by probation is the very definition of unduly depreciating the significance of what it is that you've done here.
I wish we could see her face
Harm
too.
that
There's
you
a
cause
camera
our
that
community,
that's pointed at her.
continue to cause.
I would love to see
Community
it.
corrections is the same.
Just
So
grinding
prison
those
is the only
dentures.
place that duly meets the purposes of sentencing in this matter.
Yeah, I
Therefore,
should have
the
played him at
sentence
1.5
and judgment of the
speed.
court is as follows.
Good point.
As to counts 1 and
all right,
4,
here's
the
the
judgment and
sentence.
sentence of the court is 3.5 years in the Department of Corrections. Those sentences will be
you're going to
concurrent to each
jail.
other. As to count 2, the judgment and sentence of the court is 3.5 years consecutive to counts 1
Ooh, you're
and
going
4.
to jail again.
As it relates to the misdemeanor charges, count 8 is 120 days in the Mesa County Detention Facility.
Ooh, that's more jail
Concurrent to
time.
count 9 and 10, which will be 6 months in the Mesa County Detention Facility.
I might use this for SMR.
Consecutive to the prison sentence. The reason those sentences are consecutive is because those
fuck you,
sentences
that's
are,
why.
as the prosecution stated, directly related to what it is that you did.
Lock 'em
here
up,
in
baby.
our
We're draining
community,
that
the
swamp.
damage
We're
you
draining
caused
the swamp,
this community,
one MAGA at a
the
time.
breach of your oath to the electorate in Mesa County. Your sentence will be followed by 3 years of parole. You have 2 days of pre-sentence confinement credit.
Yippee!
Anything I missed? Anything else we need to address?
Judge, I think you missed
She's
the
like, "Are you
sentencing
sure?
On count 6.
Can I show you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Some
Count
more
6 is criminal
affidavits?
impersonation. That's also consecutive. That's 15
Oh,
months. to the
no,
Department of
sorry, I forgot
Corrections.
one. Good criminal
So it's
impersonation.
8.5 years total, plus the 6 months for a total of 9 years of incarceration.
Oh,
The thing is the cost of prosecution.
you are.
Is there an objection
She's
to the
gonna
cost
miss
of
so many
prosecution in this case?
Thanksgivings.
We could set it for hearing.
Who's gonna bring the dry ass turkey for Thanksgiving and the burnt ham for Easter? Who's gonna bring it now? What if she comes home and her family has discovered seasoning? What are they gonna do?
If you need to.
Well,
Who's gonna make the rolls?
If you need to have time to respond to it, I can give you that.
I
as well.
can't make the rolls from prison.
yeah, we do because we don't understand how that was calculated.
Very well. I'll give you 21 days to file an objection to the cost of prosecution. You can consult
We
that with the
don't. We
prosecutor.
didn't understand.
If there's an
The
objection,
count
we'll
to
set it for
9.
hearing. Nothing else.
They couldn't figure out math to 9. Well, the problem is that some of the times you said years and some of the times you said months, and we don't have a conversion chart, and so we don't get it. It was confusing. You were using different terminology. So, because that's what MAGA lawyers, that's like what a great MAGA defense gets you, is a guy who can't add to 9. Fractions? I got to use fractions? Yeah. Oh, do you mean no, I don't think he meant the prosecution fees. Wasn't he talking about the sentence?
You need to have time to respond to it. I can give you that as well.
Let's see.
Years total, plus the 6 months for a total of 9 years of incarceration.
And I think the only other thing is the cost of prosecution, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, you're
Sort of
right.
objection
Damn
to
it.
the
All
cost of
right, you're
prosecution
right.
in
It
this
was for the
case. We can set
prosecution.
it
I
for
was
hearing if
talking
you
over
need
that. All right, those were good jokes, but they weren't good. Thank you for correcting me. That's why I like our chat. Whoever that was, everybody give that person a pat on the back. I'm very proud of you. I'm not mad that I was wrong. I was just mad that my jokes aren't good anymore. Thanks, Maji.
If you need to have time to respond to it, I can give you that as well.
Yeah, we do because we don't understand how that was calculated.
Very well. I'll give you 21 days to file an objection to the cost of prosecution. You can consult that with the
What's up, no rats?
prosecutor. If there's an objection, we'll set it for a hearing. Nothing else. Mr. Case, anything else?
Yes, Your Honor. We have a motion previously filed for a stay, which I believe.
All right.
I just denied.
I just denied the stay. Yeah, sorry. That was the last part. He's like, we have a motion. Yeah, I just denied that. I don't know what happened after that. That was the end of the video. All right. So I don't like that I'm celebrating a grandmother going to prison. I despise her, and like my gut instinct is to like pity her, right, and be like, she's part of this. As somebody who was in a cult, like I understand why I understand people doing things that are obviously wrong that they think are right. But my pity for them, I think, boils down to like I hope people don't remember some of the things that I did when I was religious, or some of the things that that I believed when I was religious. And so I think that's why I give him a little grace. But she deserves that. And it's what's sad about the whole thing is that this entire criminal shit show that they've put on since 2020 was Donald Trump's fault. All of it. And because he's rich, and because he was the president, and because he has protection, he likely isn't going to face, like, the chances of him even going to jail at all are slim to none. If he wins, he basically can make it all go away. And look at all these people, meanwhile, that are going to jail for him, for lying for him. There's that part of me, like, these people are guilty, but every time somebody is convicted or pleads guilty, like, that means Donald Trump did it too. In all these cases, because in every scenario, they were fighting for him. And this is what cult leaders do. This is what mob bosses do. They let everybody underneath them take the fall, and they make everybody... Jesus, another puzzle piece? Sorry, guys, puzzle piece. They make everybody just believe that, like, if they fall, the whole thing falls. And it's never true. It's never true. When the leader goes down, either the organization splits into other organizations, or somebody else steps up and they take the lead. And in this case, the Republican Party will be fine under Trump. In fact, they're going to be better off. That's why I always say, in 10 years, none of you will admit you voted for Trump, because you'll come out of this. You'll come out of this stupor and be like, oh my God, like, wait, what? None of this stuff is going to age well. The history books are going to look back and they're like, wait, how many people that worked for him went to jail? Wait, are you 400 members of his team endorsed his vice president? He tried to kill his vice president, and then his vice president endorsed or said he's not going to vote for him, that he's a danger to democracy. His own party tried to run him out, like, time after time after time. Oh, so how did he get the nomination? Oh, wait, he put his daughter-in-law in charge of the party? And he put loyalists at the top of every ticket and at the top of the party, and they just pushed everybody else out? Like, that's how he's going to be remembered, because he's destroyed the Republican Party. I was reading stories now this morning, and we could look at it. We can look at 270, excuse me, let's go to Real Clear Politics. He's got I think last time we covered the House, it was, I still said there's a path for Democrats, but Republicans are in the lead. It looks bad. It doesn't look good at all for Republicans now. They're bleeding these purple areas. These purple areas look like they're all going blue. And that is 100% because the party has become the party of Trump. They don't even know what they run on. They don't have any policy. It's literally just everything is bad and Donald Trump will fix it. Yeah, MAGAs are the rhinos. If I go down to the House stuff, last time we checked in, the battle for the House was at, I think, like almost dead heat. Let me pull this up. I'll show you guys. Please pull up. All right. Oh, let me read a couple messages too. Sorry. Thanks, Jen. Cam says, Tina used to bring the ambrosia salad. So glad we don't have to eat it for the next 9 years. Do you guys know what ambrosia salad is? It's terrible. Toby says, who's voting for Trump? Not Tina Peters. Oh, Tina can't vote anymore. Poor Tina. Jessica said, Judge, can I still have my magnetic bed? That's right. I need my pillows. Jumar says, how was your night with Haley? None of your goddamn business, Jumar. How about that? All right, here's the battle for the House. So we have now, this toss-up has become wild. AZ won. If we go, where'd my map go? There it is. If we go down here to AZ1, is this AZ1? All right, AZ1 is, yeah. Oh. Right there. If we make, is this going to let me make it go blue? I don't know what's going on here, guys. It's not letting me interact today. Maybe we'll do this on Monday. I did this whole thing the other day. All right. Well, we'll do it on Monday. I'll do it on Monday. Now we have something to look forward to, but it looks good for Democrats. There's a real chance, and I would say a likely chance that it's House, it's Senate, and it's the presidency, which would be massive. Like if that happens, progressives in this party have real leverage to get something done. Clear your cookies. I actually know what I did. I was on 538 and the interactive map is on 270 to win, and I didn't save the map, and so no. Did I see the? I don't know what that is. KJ Hung Koa debate. What is that? What are you talking about? Hung Cow. Oh. No, I didn't. Wait, but now I'm seeing it. He went on a cannibal rant? All right.
When you're using a drag queen to recruit for the Navy, that's not the people we want. What we need is alpha males and alpha females who are going to rip out their own guts,
Oh, no.
eat them, and ask for seconds. Those are young men and women that are going to win wars.
Please,
Wait.
please, please.
When
What?
you're using a drag queen to recruit for the Navy, that's
I thought when I watched the 5 seconds in, I'm like, there it is. There's the crazy thing that he's going to say. That's not even the crazy thing. That's not the crazy thing. When you use drag queens to recruit for the... I mean, if that's effective, great. Like, if it's going to be effective, I think that's terrific. I think that's great. Let the boys in that like a drag queen. Let them in. That's fine.
when you're using a drag queen to recruit for the Navy, that's not the people we want.
Okay, so that's not the insane
What we
thing.
need is alpha males and alpha females who are
Okay, so that's obviously that's the insane thing. At first, it was like pretty crazy. Now that's insane. You're on stage saying we need alpha males and alpha females. So obviously that's the crazy thing.
going to rip out their own guts, eat them, and ask for seconds. Those
Rip
are young
out
men and women that are going to win wars.
Their own guts
Please,
and ask for seconds.
please, audience.
Like self-cannibalism. The thing we need more of in the United States Navy is people who eat themselves. That's what we need more of. Who the fuck is this guy? And how did I not? That's how crazy our news cycle is. I missed this. This was a day ago. So this is, what's his name? All right, so Senator Tim, that's Tim Kaine, and Trump-endorsed opponent Hung Cow. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. In Virginia. How's that polling looking? That better not be fucking close. Please don't be close. Please don't let this be close. Guys, is this race close? I mean, Tim Kaine's debating him, so it's close enough. Oh, no, it's not close. Okay. Whew. Thank God. Whew. All right. I feel okay. I feel a little bit okay. 40% is a high number for a man who says we need people who want to eat themselves. Well, thank you for whoever brought that up. That's crazy. Every time somebody says something crazy, Trump has endorsed them too. That's the most wild part. Tim says, Princess Say Pal, monthly appreciation. Thank you, Tim. Amanda says, "Hey, no rads. No rads is the no rads is the queen of everything, and if you don't follow her, you're worse than a MAGA Republican." Goddamn, that's some intelligent marketing. No rads. No rads is here. Everybody follow No rads. I've liked the change in your content recently, by the way. I've liked it. I've enjoyed your videos. Matthew says, love watching you, man. Can you shout out Whitney Fox in Florida's 13th district? She's running against Anna Paulina Luna and needs donations. Very flippable seat. Goddamn right we can. Let's go look at it right now. Florida 13. We're going to go back there. We're going to take out Florida 13 House. Florida has its own. Because of the hurricane. I'm like, how does Florida have their own tab up here? Where am I gonna find Florida House? They're only giving me. Son of a bitch. Let's type it in. See if I can find it. Awesome. Cool search function. All right, I give up. What's the polls at? Whitney Fox. Let's see what the Whitney Fox poll. We'll just Google it. I think I saw her the other day, and I thought it was maybe, I know somebody named Whitney Fox, and I was like, is that her? And then it wasn't, and then I kind of let it go. Oh, yeah, I saw her. She was the one that was out handing out, she was handing out, I think, supplies yesterday, right? I think that's where I saw her. How close is Texas? Are we going to get oh, shit, shock poll. This is from August 28th. She's leading in that poll. That was what poll was this through? I don't know who that poll was through. What we have here? Anna Paulina won in do you mean her posing in her bathing suit didn't bring her numbers up? And so she's, yeah, all right. Good. Shout out Whitney Fox. If you know Whitney Fox and she wants to come on, and I'd be happy to interview her. That'd be great. I hate Anna Paulina, but I'll use nicer words. If anybody's working with her, in fact, if anybody in here works with any candidate and you want them to be interviewed, I'll be happy to interview anybody, especially this close to election day. Even if it's local folks, I'd be happy to do it. Okay, got that. Thanks, Matthew. I appreciate that. I'll look more into Whitney a little bit later. Okay. All right. Here's the hurricane shit. This is MAGA will never cease to amaze how quickly they will make up lies to try and make people look bad so that they can look good. This is a real tweet from Marjorie Taylor Greene this morning. If you guys can see that, she said, "Yes, they can control the weather. It's ridiculous for anyone to lie and say it can't be done." Harry, pretty good here. Dumber than a bag of rocks. I think it's Box of Rocks by Harry, but pretty good here. She's talking about a Sharpie from Joe. You could throw yourself on the ground and miss. She got obliterated in the comments there. Okay, but if they control the weather, then the next logical extreme is that humans caused climate change. She didn't really think this talking point through. And then, so I go to Governor. I get on Twitter this morning. Here's Governor Cooper. A real Republican, a real serious leader, and somebody who's not really interested in playing politics. This is the governor of North Carolina, and here's what he has to say.
We've already had over 50,000 people to register for FEMA assistance, and about $6 million has already gone out. So we want to help people in that way in the short term.
Did I say Republican?
But there
Sorry.
are also longer-term solutions for people who have lost their homes, and we want to be there for them. We've already had over 50,000.
I said Republican. Sorry. Democrat governor of North Carolina. I apologize. I thought this was the Brian Kemp video, so I probably said Republican governor. Just a reminder, as Republicans go out there today and smear the Biden administration, despite every governor standing up, even red governors like Governor Kemp saying like, yeah, I think Governor Kemp's quote was something like, we're getting everything we asked for. Literally, like we're getting every single thing that we've asked for. We're communicating all the time. Just remember, Trump. This is from Politico in 20. This was new, but I think the original investigation was 2022 when those fires were. In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, Trump has blasted the Biden administration for its handling of the disaster, going so far as to accuse Democratic leaders of ignoring the needs of a Republican storm. But a review of Trump's record by Politico and with two former White House officials show that the former president was flagrantly partisan. That's flagrantly partisan. Those are strong words. I think that's a little stronger than regular partisan. And remember, two Trump White House officials are the ones that are reporting here, or are being reported on. At times in response to disasters, on at least 3 occasions, he hesitated to give disaster aid to areas he considered politically hostile or ordered special treatment for pro-Trump states. Mark Harvey, who was Trump's senior director for resilience policy on the National Security Council, said that Trump initially refused to approve disaster aid for California after deadly wildfires in 2018 because of the state's Democratic leanings. But Harvey said Trump changed his mind after Harvey polled voting results to show him that heavily damaged Orange County, California, had more Trump supporters than the entire state of Iowa. Oh, my people got hurt? We'll send it. We went as far as looking up how many votes he got in those impacted areas to show him these are people who voted for you. Imagine being on Trump's staff and you have to figure out ways to convince him to help people in need. And the way that you know you're going to be effective is by pulling up voter stats of, hey, these people like you, so you can help them. Like that was a job. When you worked for Donald Trump, your job was to trick him into doing the right thing by elevating his ego. The exchange, not previously reported, drew a dumbfounded response on social media from President Joe Biden, who summed up Trump's attitude as, you can't only help those in need if they voted for you. It's the most basic part of being a president, and this guy knows nothing about it. Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom called the episode a glimpse into the future if we elect Trump. Both Harvey and Olivia Troy, a former Trump White House Homeland Security advisor who backed up Harvey's claims, say Trump is approaching Hurricane Helene with a similar mindset. They say he's politicizing a disaster that has killed more than 170 people in 6 states. And Troy, who has endorsed Harris for president, accused Trump of trying to divert attention from his own political liabilities on disaster responses. She said if Trump wins the White House again, he will view disasters through a political lens that values personal loyalty over damage considerations. It's not going to be about the American voter out there who isn't really even paying attention to politics, and their house is gone, and the president of the United States is judging them for how they voted, and they didn't even vote, Troy said in an interview. Trump, even like just the generic stuff, like Trump going in directly after a hurricane. Everybody knows you don't do that. When there's a disaster, the last thing you need to do is bring in a presidential motorcade. But that doesn't stop Trump from doing it. He goes down, he brings his big fucking jet, he does press conferences, he does appearances, he shuts down roads. No, not a word. Not a word. Biden waits the appropriate amount of time. And now that Biden's actually doing that, what's MAGA reporting? MAGA's out here reporting that they're not getting the aid that they need. I saw this morning from Tim Kennedy. Do you guys know who Tim Kennedy is? Like the amount of the lengths that people will go to try and make this political is absolutely insane, or to try and make the government look incompetent. This was Tim Kennedy this morning. He's out working as a volunteer, and good for him. Great job, Tim Kennedy. He's a former Navy SEAL, former UFC fighter, regular Joe Rogan guest. He's out here saying he's doing rescues. But instead of just telling the American people, how's it going, saying here's some help that we could need, he, like everybody else, is going to take this opportunity to try and make the Biden administration look bad. These people are hyper partisan, and they are so full of shit when they say they're just doing the right thing. They're not. They're absolutely not. There is no partisanship in hurricane disaster relief. None. In fact, if we're going to talk about partisanship, we need to talk a lot about the Republicans who didn't vote for the FEMA allocation, who didn't want FEMA to have money. And now they're out here blaming the Biden administration says we might not have enough money. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, I wonder how that happened. Even though that appears to be untrue. They seem to be okay. But we do need Congress to vote soon to approve more money.
Are they still not there anywhere? What are you seeing from FEMA in the federal response?
Okay, but real quick. The question is, are they still not there? Is FEMA not there? Remember, the premise here is that FEMA isn't there. That the government's just ignoring them. All right, so the first claim is FEMA's not there. Now listen to Tim Kennedy tell you how FEMA's not there.
If any.
I mean, they're present. They're in the way. They are directly interrupting our ability to conduct missions and operations. Huh? And I'm not going to disparage anybody.
They're directly they're doing their job. And this motherfucker's like, hey, I'm down here to do it my way. You guys are getting in the way of me doing it my way. Yeah, it's not your job, man. It's not your job. This is what we pay FEMA to do. This is their responsibility. He's like, they're in my jurisdiction. You are a podcast host. You're just a podcast guy. Yeah, they did it in Maui as well. Same shit.
Because we are trying to work within partner relationships, both government and non-government entities within state and federal and county, I went to put a couple of people into a hotel last night, and they have a security guard at the hotel, and they said, "Oh, we're so sorry. The entire hotel has been booked for federal employees." And I was like, no, I have people that would just pull it out of a mountain that are living out in the hills, and there's not a place for me to put them because we have federal employees that are staying in the hotel. I slept in this white car last night.
Where are those people? If I'm this journalist on, I believe, Newsmax, my question is, it appears that those people had nowhere to sleep. They must still be with you. Where are those people? Shouldn't they be with him? Oh, you know what I bet happened? I bet that the federal government booked out an entire hotel to put all their people there, but also so they could have security there. And I bet Tim Kennedy went to the next hotel and they had rooms and they put him in those rooms. It's a weird story he's telling right here. It's a weird story to be saying, like, they're fucking us. Okay, where's the people? You slept. Did you make them sleep outside, Tim? Did you just take them back? Did you go place them on their call the hotel? Yeah, what hotel? You won't even tell us what hotel. How this isn't obvious to every MAGA. The only people who believe this are the people who want to believe this. It doesn't make any sense. They're in the van. Yeah.
I smell like foot and death right now. As
You
does
probably
every
always
single
smell like
person on our
foot and
team.
death, you
Not a
stinky
single one of
bitch.
us slept. We got done maybe at 3 o'clock the moment the sun was up and we could fly helicopters again. We were back in the air and we have not stopped. And I was like on the fence about trying to get on this program or not. I want people to understand.
We haven't stopped except for to do media. we have been go, but except for to do media. And also, one time I was delayed a little bit because a hotel was full. What the fuck? How does anybody buy this? What? Do you hear helicopters right now? It's not like he's running to the helicopter and like, sorry guys, I know it's gonna be loud. I only have 2 seconds. No, he's sitting on the side of the road telling a story. He set up a tripod. Why the fuck is his door open? Also, you're gonna get flies in there, you dummy. Why's your door open? Why'd you say, what's your tripod on? Is it another car? And then, like, why'd you leave your door open for the shot? I got gear back here. I need you to see that I got gear. I slept in my car. So stupid. FEMA paid to put people in Airbnbs? Yeah.
Understand how incredible this organization is, Save Our Allies, and all the work that all of these volunteers are doing. But people, this is biblical level devastation. This is apocalyptic, the things that we see out there.
These are towns up in the mountains that are 10, 20, 40 miles away from any other town. And
she came in hot. There are towns everywhere. There's blood everywhere. There's water everywhere. There's alligators everywhere. And you gotta protect the blind side. Gotta protect the blind side. Go Ole Miss.
people on the ground like you need helicopters from the government, and they will not release them. I have heard that time and again.
What? Why do you think the government doesn't have helicopters to give to them? They're using them. That's their job. Are you fucking kidding me with this?
Like you need. These are towns up in the mountains that are 10, 20, 40 miles away from any other town. And people on the ground like you need helicopters from the government. And
from the government. What do we got? Socialism for helicopters now? Are helicopters included in public transportation now? The fuck is she talking about? I don't know why the government won't give you their helicopters. Clearly you're there to do something. I see the pack behind your shoulder. The government needs to give you their helicopters. Come hell or high water. I shouldn't have said high water. As I said it, I realized in a flood that's insensitive.
They will not release them. I have heard that time and again. And the people who are delivering aid up into the mountains are now getting requests for body bags.
We're crying now.
Tim, heard that time and again. And the people who are delivering aid up into the mountains are now getting requests for body bags.
Somebody, what is this show called? My Drunk Aunt? Is that what this is? My Southern Drunk Aunt? Listen, I like the opportunity we have to laugh in this horrible tragedy, but who's calling for body? Are they calling you for the body bags, ma'am? That might be a prank call. That may be a prank call, ma'am. I don't think they're calling around for body bags.
Tim, we got to
you are 100% correct. Oh, you're right about that. And there was a no-fly when the president flew in today. We had to land helicopters to not go rescue people so a photo op could take place. And that's a travesty, and that's unconscionable.
So they're mad that he didn't show up. Then when he shows up, they're like, he fucked everything up. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no winning with them. They spent however many days saying he didn't show up, and then he showed up, and they're like, he shouldn't be here. He's causing this problem. You know how we know that? Because we've been causing problems this entire time doing our photo ops. And now he's here, and so now we have our photo ops plus his photo ops. And that's not right. It's just not right. Yeah, had to land the helicopters he can't get. Yeah, that's a good question, Meghead. What helicopters were you landing there? We went down to Avis, and they said they don't even rent helicopters. I tried Hertz. They said they'd pick me up, but not in a helicopter. Brian says, was that Sarah Huckabee? Side note, I thought red states hated socialism. Not when it comes to helicopters. They are pro-social helicopters. Zach says, F. Mary Banish, J.D. Vance, Mike Johnson, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Mike Johnson's going to get it because I think if Mike Johnson had gay sex, then he would probably he couldn't live with himself and he'd disappear. Marjorie's getting banished. I'm marrying J.D. Vance. I want his money. And I think I would do a better job raising his kids too. I think that they're better off too. Deani says, did you get my invite to see Jasmine Crockett? We'll be there Sunday. Hope to meet you. Thanks, Jay. Yeah, I went through my emails. I reached out to her media director, so I will be there on Sunday, hopefully to meet Jasmine Crockett. I think she's getting. She'll have credentials for me, I think, today. So, stepmommy. Yeah, stepmommy Jay, that's right. All right, let's keep going with this.
If people want to donate, is it SaveOurAllies.com?
That's right. And if somebody is stuck somewhere, or you know somebody that's stuck, you can go to SaveOurAllies.org, and you can click on there. Let us know. We have people going all over in the places that can't be reached. That's why we have special operations people working with partnerships to get into those areas. So go there, support that organization, and also let us know where to go.
Yeah, cool organization. Honestly, I like that. What we could have done is we could have talked about that. We're 2 minutes and 16 seconds in a 2-minute and 29-second clip, and with 13 seconds to go, they're like, "Hey, by the way, can people help?" And now that we've smeared the government for not giving you helicopters, I've cried a little bit. I'm now holding my chin in real thought. Now tell us how we could help.
Kennedy, you are a great American. Thank you. And I know all of this devastated area thanks you, and Save Our Allies as well. We appreciate you being on the program and just taking a couple moments out of rescuing people to tell us the story. Thank you, Tim Kennedy.
Love you
Does that love you?
much, Tim Kennedy.
Love you. Okay, it was.
Are these
lady's a mess. Her emotions are everywhere. She went from yelling to crying to I love you in less than 2.5 minutes. She felt every emotion in those 2.5 minutes. Love you too, Mom. They're so weird. That's a news program. You are a great American. I love you so much. He's a great American because he came up and he complained about the federal government not giving them the helicopters. Cool. Let's see. I liked this story. Pull this one up real quick. You love me? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love you guys too. Maybe we should. Yeah, you're right. maybe we should just say I love you more. Maybe we should be celebrating that she said that. And you're right. You're right about that. This is from the Justice Department this morning, Wednesday morning. Federal and local law enforcement arrested 42 members and associates of an SFV Peckerwoods, a San Fernando Valley, California-based white supremacist street gang, on a 76-count federal grand jury indictment alleging they engaged in a years-long pattern of racketeering activity that included the trafficking of drugs, specifically fentanyl, illegal firearms possession, and COVID-19 benefits and loan fraud. Just one by one here. Who are the drug traffickers again? Is it immigrants? No, it's white nationalists. Who is trafficking illegal firearms? Is it immigrants? No, it's white nationalists. Who defrauded the United States government and got handouts that they didn't deserve? Is that the immigrants? No, that was the white nationalists. Go figure, huh? It's always 68 defendants under RICO. It says during the investigation, law enforcement seized large quantities of illegal firearms, dozens of pounds of fentanyl, methamphetamine, and heroin, according to the indictment. The Peckerwoods' violent white supremacist ideology and wide-ranging criminal activity pose a grave menace to our community. Those are the same people that you can probably see on the street corner protesting against immigrants. And behind the scenes, they're running massive criminal enterprises. By allegedly engaging in everything from drug trafficking to firearms offenses to identity theft to COVID fraud, and through their alliance with a neo-schmatzy prison gang, the Peckerwoods are a destructive force. In prosecuting the members of the Peckerwoods criminal organization, our office is carrying out its mission to protect the public from the most dangerous threats. Again, these are the Peckerwoods from San Fernando Valley. And just as a side note, a quick announcement. The GOP of San Fernando Valley is looking for new leadership. Apparently, they've recently lost some of their leadership. So if you're a Republican in San Fernando Valley, show up, because there's about 68 vacancies there. That's 68 Trump votes lost there, folks. It's election interference, if you ask me. Everybody knows that the fentanyl traffickers are Trump supporters. This is election interference. Stupid. They'll say it. Somebody's gonna say it. Honestly, if they're like, imagine I was talking to Eric, and I read that story to Eric. You don't think his conclusion would be election interference? You don't think it? What are the equal opportunity employers? I don't know what you mean by that. I love the tick. Thanks, Corey. All right. I've been sent this by all of you. Everybody has sent this to me, so we're just going to cover it. Parts of it I'm going to have to cover. That's a snake. No thanks. Giant nude Trump effigy on display behind Phoenix dispensary. Luckily, it's blurred out. This is the giant Trump effigy that you saw in Nevada. It has apparently made its way to Phoenix, and it is sitting behind a dispensary. 24th and Washington Streets on Thursday morning. This is there. It's in Phoenix now. They're here for a Trump rally. A giant nude effigy of former President Trump that was displayed near Las Vegas several days ago seems to have relocated to Phoenix. The 43-foot, 6,000-pound marionette, that might be closer to his real measurements than the ones that the pill popping what's his name, Candyman Jackson gave him. The arms move is made of foam over rebar. The effigy is planning to travel to other cities around the United States as part of a crooked and obscene tour. It's coming to a town near you, guys. The nude effigy disappeared from Vegas after less than 48 hours, but a statue that appears to be the same one showed up Thursday morning behind the Bud Smart marijuana dispensary. Oh, I shouldn't say that name. It could be seen in its entirety from across a vacant lot on the northwest corner of the intersection. Tom Yark, the property's majority owner, told Axios that he was approached by a third-party broker who wanted to rent the property to temporarily store the statue. They're just storing it, guys. On Thursday, he agreed to allow the effigy's handlers to temporarily put it up so they could take a few pictures, not realizing how long it would be up. He said he probably would have asked them to store it somewhere else if he'd known. Probably. Not 100% sure, but like probably. This dude sounds like he was high. Would you have had him do it? Store it somewhere else? Probably. Yark described it as a business transaction and said he didn't agree to store the effigy out of animosity toward Trump, saying, "I'm like Switzerland, brother." Dude is baked. I'm Switzerland, brother. It's unclear from news coverage who's responsible for this. A man who came out from behind the building told several onlookers they couldn't go back for a closer look because it's on private property, and the effigy is guarded by security. He has better security than Trump. Yark said he doesn't know who owns the statue. The Nevada Republican Party condemned the statue as pornographic and deplorable. It's terrible, guys. They cued it pornographic and deplorable. While families drive through Las Vegas, they're forced to view this offensive marionette designed intentionally for shock value rather than meaningful dialogue. Yeah, these poor families going to Las Vegas being objected to nudity. Have you seen a fucking billboard in Las Vegas? Have you driven on the freeway of Las Vegas? What? I hate to break it to these families. There's a lot of sexual imagery in Las Vegas. What are they talking about here? That's Trump. If you look out your window at Trump Tower, it's just like strip club billboard, strip club billboard, strip club billboard. If you walk, somebody's going to hand you a card. There's going to be some nudity there too. If you walk down the strip, there's people almost nude. Last time I was there, I saw something phenomenal. It was a woman in a jazzy scooter, and she was completely topless, and those babies were hanging low, and she had painted them like dog ears, and then she had like her face paint. They were her ears. It was unbelievable. It was one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. That was down on Fremont Street. I bet she's famous. I bet if you Googled her, you could probably find it. If not, I'll have to. I was with my Mormon mother too. She had just retired, and we went to Las Vegas, and we're like, you can see Celine Dion or any other concert you want. We'll take you. And she's like, I want to see Donnie and Marie. So we had to sit through Donnie and Marie. But before that, we went down to Fremont Street, and my mom stared at that woman for 15 minutes. And it was, I don't know what her thoughts are to this day. She was just like, is that paint? Is she not wearing a shirt? Is that paint? Is that really paint? It was really paint. It was amazing. I loved that lady. I would like to be friends with that lady. I feel like that's something that like would have been included in a Miss Julie story at some point. Shit can get, well, yeah. If you guys haven't been to Fremont Street, one time I was at Fremont Street. This was when they were doing renovations. It's a little nicer now. But I was there to watch a basketball tournament, and I was there like way late, so I had to just settle for whatever hotel I could get. And I was staying at a hotel called El Cortez. It's on Fremont Street. And then there's cool things you can partake of in Vegas at the time. That was one of the few places it was legal. Yeah, my mom's still very Mormon. Thanks for asking, Emily. And I went to get some pizza at like 2 a.m. for, you guys know why. And on the way back, I saw this guy steal something off of what do you call those things? In the middle, like those little shop things. What's the word I'm looking for? You know what I'm talking about? Those little vendor tables. I think it was sunglasses. And the guy that owned the sunglass place took a empty beer bottle that was, I don't know if it was his or was sitting there, smashed it, and then just chased after Kiosk. God damn, how did I miss Kiosk? Thank you, guys. And then he ran right past me with a broken bottle and was chasing a shoplifter. And everybody just like went on like it was just normal. Everybody was like, oh, not again. Everybody just kept selling. Nobody freaked out. Everybody just kind of like went on with their life. Yeah, if you guys know, El Cortez is tough. It's a tough area. Is it a MAGA? I bet Fremont Street is a MAGA magnet. They got that big like karaoke stage. Yeah. Let me read some comments. Ash said, for Jay's mom, Jay is also smart and respectful. Thank you. Thank you. She won't agree with you. Depends on which mom. If I say my mom is in the chat, by the way, she wants me to clear this up, I think. If I say my mom is in the chat, that is my biological mother. she is not Mormon anymore. If I'm talking about my Mormon mother, that is the mother that raised me, just so we're clear on that. So don't worry, you're not offending my Mormon mother. You're offending my heathen mother. Caden says, you should show us your hat collection one day. All right. Yeah, we can do that sometime. I even got some nice like sun hats for when I go golfing. The full brim effect. Jennifer says, how am I supposed to take a gang seriously when they're called the Peckerwoods? That's fair. All right, I got that one already. Yes on that. Cart kiosk. Thank you, Danny. Yeah, they're different than you think. I don't know if I have one in here. I don't have one in here with me right now. I'll wear the sun. It's like those safari looking hats. I'll try and remember and wear it tonight because I'm going to be with Jeffrey tonight. Time is it? 11:30. Got another hour or so. No MAGA folks today. We had one MAGA, just Sean, and then it was done. Here's JD Vance, confronted by our friends. I always want to say good trouble, but I know that's not right. Good liars. I always mix them up. They got in to talk to JD Vance, and they're just going to ask JD Vance if Donald Trump. Now, remember, JD Vance on the debate stage said, we're not going to rehash stuff. It's not that I'm afraid to answer whether or not Donald Trump won the election. Like, obviously, there was a peaceful transfer of power, obviously. But then, just a few days later, when confronted by the good liars, he says this.
Who won the 2020 election?
Hold on. Are they really holding, wait. Are people really holding a vigil for Tina Peters? Is that real? Please tell me they're not. Yeah, KJ, I covered that earlier this morning on the Trump Bibles. Are they really? Somebody tell me if they're really doing that. Of course they are. All right. Yeah, I don't even have to check. If any of you guys see some of that, send it to me. If you're not in the Discord, shoot myself or one of the moderators a message. We'll get you an invite to the Discord. Send it on TikTok. Listen, I don't even know where to find the invite to Discord. I don't know how to do it. I used to do it regularly, but I kept screwing it up, and so the mods all decided collectively. And this was back when Fee was running shit here. They just were like, you can't do it anymore. You're not allowed to touch it anymore. So just know you got to send it on TikTok so Jen will see it. But I'm not allowed to touch that button anymore. That's what she said. Thank you. All right, here we go. You guys, Miss Montana, please message them, private message them, and they'll send it to you. Here's the good liars and JD Vance.
Who won the 2020 election? We're gonna go to town. Could you just answer? Did Donald Trump win? Yes or no?
Yes.
He did win.
Yep.
So will you?
He did win.
Will you concede? Will you concede? If your opponent gets more votes, will you concede?
I really feel bad for you, man.
I just want to know if your opponent gets more votes, will you concede?
As our friend Tim Walls would say, that is a damning non-answer at the end there. He said, you know how happy he just made Donald Trump right there? You know why he's smiling so big? Because he knows Donald Trump's going to see that video. It's like, I made Daddy happy. I mean, Daddy's so happy. There's two schools of thought. I haven't decided where I'm at yet with JD Vance. One, he is a complete sycophant. Or two, he sees a scenario where he's becoming president. And I think it might be two. And that's why I think he doesn't really care about lying. And he probably feels like once he's in charge, then he'll start telling the truth. But like, how could we ever trust him again? How could you ever trust somebody like this? If JD Vance once was a good person, he's not anymore. Like, you cannot just go on and lie to the American people right to their face like that. You can't do it. I don't understand you MAGA folks. I don't understand why you allow this. It's like we need to get you in some therapy. Maybe I got some friends. I got some deconstruction friends. They could point you in the right direction. We got to start deconstructing from MAGA, because at this point, it's almost like if they stop lying to you, you guys won't know what to do. Like you're like, I'm so used to them saying something that doesn't make sense, and then me having to blindly defend it and being whipped up into like delirium because they can't possibly be lying to me. They must be telling the truth, and I just can't find the answer. And then you're like, well, if I can't find the answer, then Google's broken, and if I can't find the answer from the news, then the news is fake news because again, they told me that it did happen, and nobody in the news is reporting it, so I'm gonna believe them. That's all of MAGA. Everything you guys believe. I got a green screen coming to try and we're going to try and put up headlines to bait more MAGA into some conversations. But I don't know. Maybe look, fine. Former President Trump wants to join in. That's fine. You want to jump in? Let's talk about it. Jesus.
Excuse me. I didn't know that it was Friendly Friday. I didn't.
Well, we're not there. You're not there yet, so it's not friendly time yet. So you came at the right time.
Unbelievable. So what are we talking about? We're talking about people?
Well, JD Vance says that you. Do you want to watch it with me? This is JD.
Absolutely.
Now, do you know who JD Vance is?
He's a very handsome guy.
Yeah, he's from Ohio. He's a senator.
Oh wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
What a great guy. Would really help us out with our victory.
Yeah, I think you're going to be proud of this interaction he had. Here you go.
Who won the 2020 election? Could you just answer, did Donald Trump win, yes or no?
Yes.
He did win?
Yep.
So will you concede? Will you concede?
He said you won.
Well, I should really think about this guy. We're going to have to put him in the cabinet. They're going to, I really like him. He's talking really well.
Yeah.
He's saying all the things that I like to hear, and it's an audience of me. So this is great. I love it.
What'd you think about your friend, the Patriot, Tina Peters? She's going to jail for a little while.
Was that the girl in Arizona?
Colorado.
Colorado. Well, there was a lot of crime. Well, the thing is, she did a great job. What did she get? 9 years?
Yeah, 9. That's pretty good.
Wow.
Compared to most of the people
terrific.
that go to jail for you, that's pretty high in the years.
That's more than a president gets. Unbelievable. She went to prison for longer than I got to be in office. And quite frankly, she did a great job with it. And we're still looking at it. And don't worry, she will be freed. She is Antifa. And we will get all of those people out of there. Absolutely.
Good.
Oh, wow. I did watch that. I saw it. It was on they call it the For You page. For You page.
Yeah, it's for you, bud.
It's all for me, and I love it.
Yeah.
And I saw the video, and it was beautiful.
Which video? The arrest video or the sentencing? Which video did you think was
one
beautiful?
In court. She did such a great job. She did so wonderful. So, the judge was so mean. He was so mean to her. He said, I think you're a disgrace. Well, don't worry. We'll get our vengeance. Don't you worry. Project 25 and J.D. Vance. They're saying now that J.D. Vance is going to get rid of me. They're saying he's going to get rid of me. Can you believe it?
Yeah, listen, I heard the rumor. I heard that that he may use the Constitution. Now, are you familiar with the Constitution?
Absolutely not.
All right. Yes. I think it's what the 25th. There's amendments to our Constitution. I think the 25th.
Quite frankly, I think we should get rid of the Constitution.
You do?
I think it's an old document. And I wanted to throw it out. I do. I said it before. I said it once before. I said, we're going to terminate the Constitution. Okay, and I said it. And my people loved it.
Well, what do you think that's that's just a ploy by treasure hunters? They don't want the map thrown out, or?
Well, we love maps and Captain Hook. And you go to the black dot. They said, go to the black dot. It's on the map, and that's where the treasure. Remember the black dot? If you got a black dot, that meant that you were going to be. Wasn't that like a death sentence? They said.
I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure. I remember my mother read the story. It was a black X, maybe.
Black X.
Black dot, maybe black dots. In terms of dots, we're doing so well with those.
Doing
We
very
love
good
the
in
dots.
the Black X community. You're doing well.
The small red dots in the big blue cities. Unbelievable. Wow. Unbelievable. We do so well. If you look at the map, it's so big, it's so red. But the areas that we're in terms of red, they're not very populated. Ironically, it's weird. And so we've got the small blue dots, but these are very populated areas, and they make the whole city. It's completely unfair. It's really rigged.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. As per usual, I don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about.
We
sir.
just weaved. We went and weaved around.
Oh,
We
that
did
was
the
a
whole
weave.
weave.
Are you
We
shitting right
started
now?
with the X's and O's and the spots and Captain Hook. And then there was a pirate. What was his name? Long John Silver. Long John Silver. That guy, what a raw deal he got. He got a terrible deal.
I thought he got.
We're talking about deals.
Yeah, but speaking of deals, it looks like your branding deal with Jesus for you endorsing him and putting your name on his Bible might work out for you in Oklahoma. Looks like they may be buying some Bibles from you.
Well, nobody does it better. Absolutely. I've done a great job with Bibles. In terms of Bibles, nobody has read the Bible like me. Quite frankly, they're saying it's such a big book. How can you get through all the pages and the testimonials that are in there? There's a lot of testimonials. They say there's 2 testimonials, and I'm not really sure whose testimonials they are, but we love the late great. That's right, Danny. We love the late great Captain Hook.
Wait, are you saying you're not sure who's giving the testimonials in the Bible? Like you're not sure who the people that are speaking in the Bible are?
Well, these are my people. And so they've got people in there, and they're giving me the first testimonial, the second testimonial, and then there's stories for each person. So how is there only 2 testimonials, but like 15 people, like Luke, Mark, and John, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah, speaking of 2 testimonials, do you have any thoughts on this effigy that is blocking the 2 testimonials? There's a picture above my head there.
I see the picture. It's beautiful. It looks like Caesar, like I'm in Italy or something. Is that
It's close. It's in Arizona. It's being held up. I think accurately, it's being artificially held up. I think based on the way I see your knee position and that girdle, I think you're propped up a similar way. Is that right?
Wow. Now, how did they do down there in the private area? Did they get it right? Because quite frankly,
you tell me.
There, believe me.
Skinnier than I expected, but the tip was far wider than I expected. So I don't know.
Well,
you tell me.
No taxes on tips.
No
No
taxes.
taxes on tips.
So you got
We've
the
got no
biggest.
taxes.
So on the biggest part, you don't pay taxes. That's brilliant. That's pretty on brand.
And so we're doing that, and that's why we're against IVF, like they said. I watched Jon Stewart. He did a great portrayal. He talked about it. He talked about no tax on the tip, but that's where we get to IVF because the tip goes in and they make the IV. So it's beautiful.
What's the
and
F
then you
for?
get the
Wait,
F.
what's the F is what?
You get the IV, the insertion, like a needle. Okay, it's like a miracle. One day it'll disappear.
Yeah.
And then you get the fertilization. And so it's IVF. IVF. And they're saying that we've done so
And the
well
IV
with
stood
it.
for what again? What was the IV?
It's the, I don't know, it's the IV. They put it in, and then you have the tip. IVF,
And
IV,
then
and then
So your plan
fertilization.
is your plan just no tax just on the tip part then when they put in the tip?
Absolutely,
So
because
the
that's
IV
why
you'll
we're-
tax on?
Well, yes, we have no tax on the tip, and that's why we are so strong with the IVF, because you put the tip and it's the fertilization, and we're fertilizing so well. And I'm out of breath now. I've had a lot of McDonald's. I had a Coke, a Diet Coke. Now, as you know, I don't have cooks because I'm afraid of people poisoning me.
But not
Long
McDonald's
John
employees.
Silver.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. They don't know. They don't know. And I just came in to say hello because I think you're doing so wonderful, and I think
Thank
the
you.
media is treating you terrible.
I agree.
I think they're just doing. You just showed a beautiful video of a priest who was talking about my Bible, and
Yeah.
unbelievable. And they're saying that you are a liberal, and it's
They
rude.
say that.
It's really rude.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think you're being treated fairly.
I am a liberal.
Well, that's not true. That's not true. I believe that you are supporting me. You have a beautiful picture of me behind you.
I am clearly. I actually covered earlier. I don't know if you were here. Remember that time that you had to be convinced to give funding in California for the wildfires, and they showed you that some people in California voted for you, so then you gave them assistance. So I covered that. Nobody else is covering that, just me.
And they did, but Kevin McCarthy, this guy, he ended up being a real cuckoo. And then we raked the forest to save the forest fire.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. We said, if you rake it, it won't catch on fire because the leaves, quite frankly, the leaves are flammable. In terms of flame, it's like paper. You put it down and it just explosion.
Yeah.
And so we're doing very well with that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I think you're doing so well.
Thank you.
Liberals for Trump. That's
There
what
we
I
go.
did here. I heard that Jay is the leader of Liberals for Trump. Unbelievable.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right. Liberals for Trump. That we're here for you. We hope to have you back soon.
I appreciate it, and you're
Yeah.
doing so well, and I'm totally coherent. I
Yeah.
absolutely know what's going on. I have the best words.
You're doing great.
I know who my running mate. I know who J.D. Vance is. I almost slipped up there. I know exactly who that guy is. I think he's beautiful. I think we should put him in the cabinet. But yes, we're doing so well. Like Indians in the Cupboard. Remember that movie? It was a great movie. They put them in there and they came alive.
No. Let's save that one. Let's save that for the next one. Indian in the cupboard. All right, Mr. President, it's good to serve. It was good talking to you. Fucking Indian in the cupboard. I wasn't ready for Indian in the cupboard. Not quite Friendly Friday yet, guys. If you're in the box and you are opposition to any of those things, stay in the box. If not, I see Hey Justin, Britt, and Angie. If you're not opposition, please hop out real quick. And if you are, we've got about 15, maybe 20 minutes. Movie does not hold up. I'm trying to. That's right. They did do a movie of it, didn't they? All right. Hey Justin. Oh, never mind. You're gone. That was weird. Right when I clicked on you, it said you didn't exist. All right. Well, let's see if I have anything else to cover then, and if not, we'll jump right into Friendly Friday. Somebody said something about the school vouchers. I promise I'll do that on Monday. It keeps happening. Oh, sorry. No worries, Hey Justin. You were in the guest request, but it could have been an accident. That was a concept of a Justin. Is there anything else to cover here? I don't want to do that one. No, we'll just do Friendly Friday. Everything else is going to take too long, so we'll start Friendly Friday early. If you want me to read any messages, now's the time. I'll check those real quick. But Jen, come up and fill the box. Let's do Friendly Friday. Phil says, looks like the path has been tied between the two testimonials until it's matured. I heard it's easily reversible, though. Chrissy says, RTP can debate me all night long. Terrific. Come hang out with Jeff. I bet if you're not up, he's going to be really upset about that. And I think that was it. He doesn't like that. All right. Who's first?
All right, hold on. I'm getting the...
Emmy's first?
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Jesus. Never listen.
I did not say fill the box. Should I say fill? Fill the box. Not feel. I say it wrong. I'm sorry. Fill.
Is there a T in the word?
Shut up. How about that? There's a T in that word.
Mm-hmm. All right. Ew. Yeah, Emmy's first. Go ahead.
Emmy.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm figuring this out still. I just wanted to say thanks for going over all the FEMA stuff. As somebody who lost their entire house and everything in it in Florida, I appreciate that. I've seen so much misinformation about everything that's going on with that on the internet right now, and it's wild. Like the fact that they're saying FEMA's not coming and they've run out of funds. And I mean, even my brother is like, look, this is what we're going to have to deal with. And I'm like, what? Newsweek is not a good information source, my dude. Like, find something else and come back to reality with me, please.
Yeah, I
He's
saw.
like, no.
I saw
It's all
DeSantis out there doing the same shit. I was actually going to play it today, and that was one of the parts I ran out of time. But I saw DeSantis out there just campaigning on it, like bragging about how great Florida's doing and how the federal government's doing nothing. It's bizarre.
I read an interview with him, and he said, just stop. We don't need any more funds. We have everything covered in Florida, and send everything to North Carolina. It's like, bro, what?
No, the other one's worse. There was one this morning, and it's even worse.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that one yet. I'll have to look. But we had 28 inches of water in my house, and
holy shit.
I'm like, probably we need some help.
What part of Florida are you in?
On the lower side. I'm over in the Tampa area, like Newport Richey, Hudson area.
Yeah, I talked to my cousins. They must have been in higher ground. She said they're good, but I guess parts of that area are pretty bad.
Yeah, the whole water side of US 19, which is like the main highway that runs through, all of it flooded. And we got lucky. Like 28 inches is nothing compared to some people. I've seen 5 and 6 feet in some people's houses close to the water. We're off the coast just a little bit, but it obviously it didn't do us any good. We got hit.
Well, you got a place to stay? You guys holding up okay?
Yeah, we got a place to stay. Everything's good. We even rescued a 60-pound tortoise out of the house, like in the middle of it.
Tortoise?
A 60-pound tortoise. Lifted him out through the window to get him to safety. Yeah.
Holy shit! All right, you guys do things differently in Florida. A 60-pound tortoise wouldn't be in my home, but I like that.
He lives in the backyard. We brought him inside because we thought things would get bad, and then things did get bad. So we lifted him out the window to a boat and left the neighborhood in a boat.
That's amazing. Well, keep us posted on that. Stay dry. Stay safe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you.
See ya.
John Stone.
Hey, what's going on? Hey,
How are you?
I have a different take on the hurricane relief. So,
How dare you?
You know, the $750. Hey, that's just too much money. That's too much socialism. They shouldn't get shit. You know, if these people weren't smart enough to have insurance, you know, and if their job left, like it actually like floated down the street or the wind blew it away, just go get another job. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Right. Why is my tax money taking care of you fools?
That's right.
You see how stupid that sounds, maggots? Huh? When people need a hand, and we give them minimum amounts of money so they can survive, and you bitch and moan and cry and complain about it. You see how stupid that sounds?
That sounds pretty stupid.
Right.
I love you. That's great.
Normally I end with a joke, but not today. All you people out there bitching about the $750, you're just stupid. Okay, you put down the crack pipe or whatever the fuck you're doing, and learn how our government works. Please learn how stuff works.
He said please too, guys. He's saying it in the nicest way. Listen to the advice. That's great advice. And he said please.
And everyone else have a good day. I hope all those people survive and they do well and prosper. And thanks for having me up.
Yeah, you're the best. Thank you. See ya. Jen, are we going to Maji? I know that was my fault. It's weird with the grid.
I don't know what you did, but sure. Yeah, go Maji. I'm
Well,
going.
when somebody leaves it, like it's their spot disappears instead. Maji, you're next. Sorry, guys. You may have to pay attention to who's up there first.
I'll
What's up, Maji?
fix it.
No. What's up, Elder?
How's it going?
Elder, hey, my brother in Christ.
No, I actually thought it was really cool that you brought up the whole thing about like how natives are mentioned in the Book of Mormon, because
Yeah.
that's actually very common. There's a lot of native Mormons. I'm still trying to drag my mother out of it, just like you're probably trying to drag your own mother out of it. So
I
good.
kind of gave up with her.
Well, fair. First off, I would say maybe when you're doing Friendly Fridays on this, that you create a scene where you fill up the entire screen so that you look like the rest of the group, because it looks really weird right now from our perspective.
Yeah, oh yeah. I can fix that. Wait, I can fix
I've
that.
told him about this before. So
And then the second thing is hey, I always going to go through and say, this is the only time we get to see Jen on a regular basis up here is on Friendly Fridays. So if anyone can like take the time to actually like gift her and for all the work that she does, it's really great. You know, I definitely love being able to help in any way I can. And so I talked to Jen, but she puts in a majority of the work about like getting stuff to actually work for Jay. Like seriously.
And then I break it after that. Then I just
Yeah, and then she comes to me and she's
then I
like,
have to
"Hey,
message
he broke
Maggie and say
this."
what happened. So
No, the only last thing I got is I just got one last joke that says, why the square root go to therapy? Because it couldn't deal with its problems, but after some sessions, it finally got to 7. And the doctor asked afterwards to it, how does it feel? And it says, I finally feel it myself times myself, which is 49. 49er sucks. Go Vikings.
Oh, no.
Bathroom for 24 hours.
That hurt my feelings. Who was next?
pizza for breakfast. This
Pizza
is
for
weird.
breakfast.
It used to move it around. This is weird. But
I can't move it around.
no, I'm not telling you to.
Oh, okay. Pizza for breakfast.
I feel like I'm intruding on the couple's squabble.
No,
Ew,
I'm always in
that's
trouble.
gross. I'm gonna kick you for that.
Please don't. I have so many important things to say. Good show. Yeah, good show today. I wanted to comment about the vigil for Tina Peters.
Oh no.
Yeah. So what's happening is people are setting up magnetic mattresses outside her house in solidarity. Yeah, she really needs her magnetic mattress.
It's a sleepover party.
Yeah.
Terrific. Well, if you guys have magnetic mattresses, you know where to send them. Jen, can I move this
Jay,
window?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just Jen has control of my computer, so I couldn't see it. That's better. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, like, it seems like the Democratic Party, like, and creators are constantly playing defense. Like this, like, hurricane thing, the $750 thing. It's like every day is like a new talking point that, like, just dispelling all of this crap. I mean, how do you deal? I mean, how do you deal with it? Like, how do you think going forward you'll deal with it?
I don't know. Look, it's herbal remedies most of the time. Honestly, like my nature is to I'm combative anyways. I want to get to the right answer, so that's kind of how my life is anyway. So it's not that different for me. And it was harder before when I was regularly interacting with the Republicans in my life, but I don't interact with them that much anymore, so it's probably easier. So to me, it feels more online, which it doesn't feel like real life, so it probably doesn't affect me in the same way. But honestly, I enjoy it. I just wish that instead of taking time debunking MAGA conspiracy theories, we could have the conversations about like real policies, because I would love for us to just have sensible policies, but I can deal with it.
Okay, well, it's good to know because we love you and you do such a great service. So
I appreciate it.
Thanks
No, I
again.
love it. Thanks, dude.
Good.
All right, who is next, Jen? Do you know?
Positive impact. We're
Positive
gonna switch.
impact.
Try a different layout in a minute.
Okay.
Hello, how's it going?
Wonderful. How are you?
Oh, I've been fighting COVID, but other than that, I'm doing all right. I know. Brutal. I just so I have a cousin who's deep into the MAGA cult, and they've been posting multiple posts about controlling the weather.
Oh my
and
god.
that
What's going on with that? That's crazy.
Oh
Same.
my god! And I'm just like,
It's like my sane MAGA. It's like the good MAGA, the one that doesn't usually get caught with this. They keep posting like that the patent application.
Yes. Yeah, the list of patents.
It's like, that's an application. That wasn't approved. That was just somebody had a theory and they tried to patent it and nothing happened. That's just like, that could be anybody.
I'm just like, and she's like, they've been controlling the weather for years. And I'm like, A, who's they? And for what end?
It's
like,
the
what
Jews.
are they like? Yeah. I'm like, and what, it just is like, and she used to be so smart. And I just am like, what has happened? Like, it is, some of people that follow MAGA are like not super bright, but I have some people in my family that are super smart and are in that cult. It just is, anyways, it's just amazing to me. It blows me away.
It's because they're fed that they're the smart ones too, right? So they actually believe that they're thinking on a higher level. Like, that's what, like, the Joe Rogan, they had that intellectual dark web, which was like him, Ben Shapiro, Dave Rubin, Sam, whatever his name is, Sam Harris, and the Weinsteins, and they just they act like but they're not. They got duped, and so they think that the reason they can't understand it is because we don't have all the answers, even though when all the answers are actually in front of our face. It's total cult behavior, and cult behavior is not for dumb people. Like, I know lots of smart people in cults. I know a lot of really intelligent Mormons. I know a lot of them. I know a lot of smart people that are in MAGA. Being in a cult, like, it can get anybody. Nobody's too smart to get in a cult.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's just, it's shocking to me. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll see it.
Hey, Jumar, and I Love You Stop Asking, hop right back in request. I'm trying to reset the layout. So I'm going to let you down, and if you could just hop back in.
Thank you. So wait, so who's up? Jen, who's up?
Nurse Buckholt, sorry.
Nurse Buckholt, welcome. You might be muted.
I'm pulling a J and muting myself.
It's devastating.
Welcome to being a boomer.
Yeah, I know. It's been tough.
Yeah, it's been tough for me too, so it's all right. You're in good company.
Not alone. Good.
I just want to say, Jen, you're the best. Love you very much. Jay, you too, but you suck.
Thank you.
I have to say that the thing that frightens me the most at this point is the idea of J.D. Vance doing a 25th Amendment and becoming our president. I think that could be the most devastating thing that happens in a Republican victory this fall.
What's your thought on that? Like, why are you more afraid of him? I actually agree with you, but I'm curious what
because
your
I think
thinking
he's
is.
smart enough to pull it off, and I don't think Trump is.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
can
smart, and he's devious, and he is underhanded, and Trump is just stupid and gullible.
I agree with all of that. Yeah. He is more frightened. Same reason I was more afraid of DeSantis than Trump, honestly. It's because, like, they've been able to figure out a way to message horrific things without MAGA realizing it's horrific.
And I think that, and maybe, I don't know, after listening to you today, I'm not so sure, but I think he's more of a true believer, certainly more than Trump. Yeah.
To me, he's like,
but maybe not.
He just reeks as an outsider who it fits in. Like, this is how he fits in. That's how J.D. Vance plays to me. Like, he got to Yale, he met rich friends, he made rich friends, they supported his business even though it failed, and they've been telling him, you're great, we'll help you run for Senate, we'll help you get the VP seat. I think that J.D. Vance looks for confirmation from those people, from that billionaire class. So if they tell him he's doing a good job, I agree with you. I think he truly believes that he's doing a good job, but I don't know that he himself has any solid beliefs. And if he does, I think he's lying about them.
I guess maybe from an evangelical point, since I grew up in that environment, I think it feels to me like he either plays a Christian well or believes it, or wants to believe that he is a Christian.
I don't know if there's a difference between those two.
Maybe it's I'm still deconstructing myself, so
Yeah.
it's hard to know. Looks like my
Same.
time's up. Go ahead.
You're
Tiffany.
good. No, I
Love you
appreciate it.
guys.
That was good perspective. I'm gonna think about that. I don't know what I think. I appreciate it.
Bianca, I see your request. We're only doing friends right now, so come back on a day that we're arguing.
What does it say? Bean. The bean.
It's Beaneth. It's Gaelic
Beaneth.
for princess.
Is it really?
It
I'm gonna be
is.
honest.
No one's
Beaneth.
gotten
It sounds like an insult. If we're being honest, Beaneth.
I
Sounds like
know.
yeah. All right. Well,
Well,
welcome,
it's-
princess.
Thank you so much. It's
Yeah.
so nice to finally get to talk to you, especially since you made me survive my workday. I am an insurance agent in Pinellas County, Florida.
Oof.
It's a little tough right now.
Yeah, like home insurance.
Yeah, home and car. So we're busy.
Oh, are people so mad at you?
No,
Not
they're
yet?
so happy with me.
They are? For real?
Yeah, I can help
All
them get that money. I mean, that $750 ain't gonna pay itself.
That's right. That's right. Okay, well, God bless you.
But I just wanted to let you know. So, Whitney Fox is running in my district. We are burdened with Anna Paulina Luna right now, and I went to go talk to her, and I was like, "Hey, you should come on RTP Talks. Jay's great. He's got very big reach." And then I came back, and you were talking about Trump's dick, and I was. And she was like,
welcome.
all right, I'm going to check him out right now. And I was like, no, not serious, Jay.
No. Well, tell her if she does see that, say, well, I won't talk about Trump's
You
dick.
can
I'll be appropriate.
We do have all these replays on YouTube. So
Yeah, you can clip it.
I
clip
know.
that part out.
I told her, listen, he's a very serious guy. I swear.
Very, very serious. Well, that was a lie. You shouldn't have said that. That's going to be a problem.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to say thank you. You guys rock. Thank you so much, Jay and Jen.
Thank you. That made me laugh.
So I just realized that TikTok did an update. It's not putting people in the order when they're kicked anymore.
Okay, cool.
So,
Great. So
just-
who's next?
That's Seashell, I guess.
Seashell. It's a beautiful horse.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
How's it going?
Wonderful.
So, 19 years into a FEMA career, and this is probably like the most frustrated. Every time one of these, large catastrophic disasters come up, I have to listen to this nonsense over and over and over again. And I kind of go from live to live, and I'm off work today, so not doing this on federal time, but man, it is so frustrating. Just the mass misinformation. $750 is not even remotely close to the maximum that these folks are going to get. And I just, it's like weaponizing our programs that they literally want to defund is absolutely crazy to me. So
What do you do for FEMA?
So I don't want to, because,
Okay.
Hatch Act and everything,
Yeah.
I'm in a leadership role in a different region that's currently being affected.
Are you okay talking off the record, off of lives?
Absolutely.
All right,
Yeah,
I'll message
definitely.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But I'm also, if anyone does have questions about resources, I would be happy to point them to that. Just DM me. So that's all.
Thank you. Enjoy your day off. It's certainly deserved, and God bless you.
Yeah.
All
Thanks.
right. We'll see it.
Bye.
Hi, Jen. Who's next?
Joanna.
Joanna.
Hey, friend, or should I say Zaddy with the way this week is going?
Whatever. At this point, just whatever.
Your face reading those messages was
Yeah.
ridiculous. I
Thank
was
you.
at City Hall doing my black job, and I was doubled over my desk about to fall out of my chair, and one of the workers came in to adjust their time sheets. He was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Please leave me the fuck alone right now. It's not the time."
Yeah. That
congratulations
that
on
Christian
your-
shame dies hard. So I still haven't
It gives
gotten
me
over
life.
it.
I can't help. I wheeze laughing when it happens.
I love it. I love it so bad.
Thank you.
As someone who deconstructed from Southern Baptist Christianity, which was a lot, former captain of the Bible quiz team and all that.
Oh shit, flex.
Yeah, I was captain for 4 years. The entire time I was in high school, we had all first places except for 2. I got
Excuse me.
invited to the world
What
quiz.
is that? What is this? What first place in what? What did you do?
So it's like a quiz bowl team, only it's purely Bible questions. Like we
And like
literally
each
had
school has a team?
No, like different churches in the area.
Oh,
have teams.
okay. Okay. That makes more sense. I thought this was like a school thing. I'm like, you had a Bible team in school? That's amazing. Okay, now I'm with you.
They did let us out for school because it's Arkansas and we still had prayer at the flag every morning. They let us out and they didn't call us absent when we had our quizzes.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I did want to thank you for like a few weeks ago when you had different people coming and sharing their experiences of deconstructing. It hit me hard. I forgot to thank you at the time. It was a lot going on that week. We had the Georgia incident and then the Maryland incident, but I did want to thank you for that. It really did touch my soul. Last thing, I don't like political jokes because I've seen too many of them get elected, and one is the head of the Republican Party right now.
Well done. Well done. I don't like them either.
Weekend.
Thanks. Have a good weekend.
For tonight, by the way.
Sativa. It's called Headspace. That's where we're going tonight.
Got you. See you on Jeffries.
See you guys. See ya. All right. Who's next?
I love you. Stop asking.
All right. Hey.
Jay sucks.
Yeah, Felice caught a stray there, but thank you. Appreciate it.
There you go. He forgot that it was just
That's all
Jay
right.
today.
I don't care.
But he's on fall break, so
Somebody let Felice know. She'll be pleased to hear that.
I'll let her know.
There you go.
Anyway, yeah, no, I'm with Joanna. Watching you this week, your face turning bright purple. It was so red. That was just awesome. Haley is my new hero.
Great.
And she might be our new stepmommy, so.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know what's going on.
Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to remind everybody, check your voter registration. For some places it's too late, but definitely check it. In my state, Tennessee, voter registration closes on October 17th. I know some of them are already closed. I think Texas is around the same time that ours is, but I'm not 100% sure. But check your voter registration. Make sure that you've got that up this month. And if you get there and they won't let you vote, ask for a provisional ballot.
And raise hell. Be a Karen.
And raise hell, yeah.
That's right.
Be a Karen.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just glad I was young and stupid. You know, I had my Karen moments before camera phones because I remember some things that I'm really glad are not on the internet.
Same.
Anyway, that's all I've got. Just vote, check your voter registration. Love you all. You suck, Jay.
Thank you. Appreciate
Hopefully
it.
Haley appreciates it.
Terrific. All right, who's next?
Bevy. So I don't know if I said that right.
Bevy, welcome.
Bevy's good. Hey, how are you doing? You read my comment earlier about how waves of migrants come to the border because
Ooh, leaving us in suspense.
I just wanted to drive home the point for everybody that, like, no matter who the president is, anytime the border becomes headline news, coyotes and traffickers use it to try to manipulate people into using their services. So the best thing that we could possibly have for border security is stability. And for politicians to stop being able to make this into a yearly ordeal. The reason why there was such a huge wave of migrants during the middle of the Biden administration is because Title 42 ended, and they were all sitting, we all remember the pictures of the thousands of them sitting on the other side of the border waiting to come in. So it's partially our fault for making a nonstop political game out of this, because a lot of the migrants, they don't read English very well. So the coyotes, they bring them the headline news and they go, look, they're closing the border, or the opposite. They say they're opening up the border. You got to go right now or your time is going to be up or it's never going to happen. And so they buy it and they buy their services to take them over. And this is a proven thing. It happens over and over and over again, no matter who the president is or what the situation is.
Yeah.
So and it's very dangerous. Even those of us who are like, oh, I don't care, we can have as many immigrants as we want. These girls, these kids, they get seriously injured and essayed and effed up on these trips. And even legal migrants get essayed and assaulted. Like, look up the number of Border Patrol agents that get accused of essay every year. Like, if we really care about people, we have to care about them and their safety as this happens and unrolls, which is, again, partially our fault for putting up with it.
Great points. Yeah, thank you. Thanks. I couldn't fit all that into comments. I appreciate you explaining that, but 100% I agree with you.
Thank you. Thanks for
baby.
letting me do my soapbox.
No, I appreciate it. We'll see it. All right, who's next? Jen?
Melissa.
Mom number 3. You guys.
I was just going to say, mom number 3.
You guys are meeting my third mom. Hi, Melissa. Hey, how are you?
How are you? Good. I just wanted to stop in and tell you that, so Sid and I are living on the East Coast now, and yeah, we're in Delaware, and so it's been kind of a venture for us, but just hearing your voice and being able to visit with you every day in some form, it's really been a taste of home. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. And this is so a you thing. I'm so glad you're doing this. It couldn't get any more Jay than this.
Thank you.
You're not coming up to tell me he's grounded or anything like that?
Well,
What's that?
So this isn't my. This is
joking.
this is mom 3. So Sydney, Melissa's daughter, worked with me, and Melissa gave the best hugs in the world. So she became mom when I moved to Arizona, and now they've moved to Delaware. So I used to work with Melissa's daughter, and she's one of the most brilliant, kind, sweet people that I've ever met in my life. So that's why
He
this
is a
Mom
good
3.
one.
Yeah.
And Jen, as your Jay's handler, Sydney's mine. So it kind of
We're both fuck ups. Actually, now that I think about it, you were my first dealer.
Jay's handler, Sydney's mine.
You actually were my
Jay.
first dealer. Now that I
Jay.
think about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see it.
Yeah, I'm a licensed therapist, so you can All right. You're so funny.
I love you.
Anyway,
Let's talk
love you
again
too.
soon.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that was probably my first dealer right there.
What's Jesse? I'm just guessing.
Hey, Jesse.
Hello.
What's up, my
How you
friend?
doing? Not much. Just doing my mom job. Anyways, I have a couple things. I was born in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. It's now called Fort Liberty. And that guy pissed me off about the helicopters. The day after the hurricane hit, they called in the aerospace fort in Colorado, brought over extra choppers, and Fort Liberty has deployed 1,500 units, so you can look it up, and 64 airlifts in 2 days through their helicopters. Sorry that they don't have time to pick up dumbass news reporters while they're trying to save lives. Sorry, my bad, dude.
Sorry,
sorry that you got to sleep in your car.
podcaster. You're not going to have
Yeah.
content. Yeah.
No, for sure. It's ridiculous. Noah, I got my pink Kamala shirt on, and
Beautiful.
I got my White Dudes for Harris hat. So when my wife gets home, I can go do my weekly door knocking.
There
It's
you go.
Minnesota. She's gonna win. But
you better have dinner on the table for when she gets home.
oh, I know. I got to put it in her lap so she can pop her feet up and watch CNN. I
right.
mean Fox News.
That's right.
You know
Fox
the
News
standard.
only.
The standard. The holy grail of news. Fox
right.
News is where you get your news from. Oh, by the way, the 49ers cheated against the Patriots last weekend.
Yeah.
That's my team, and I was highly disappointed. My wife got me some Patriot stuff for my birthday.
Jen, did you mute him on purpose? Oh, yeah.
Oops.
Yep. Oh, sorry. You're talking bad
Oops.
about the Niners. I was like,
Oops.
I forgot for a second. Sorry. That took me a second.
Seriously, my wife asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I got, my Patriots. She got me 2 Patriots things. She's like, "What jersey name do you want?" And I was like, "Oh, Tom Brady." She's like,
Yeah,
"Why is that?"
yeah.
I was like, "Well, that's the last time I'll ever see the Patriots to another Super Bowl, so we're kind of screwed now." I
Hey,
don't
look,
think we'll
somebody
ever
has
win,
to
but-
root. Somebody has to root for the worst team, and that's you now. You just
Honestly,
you've had your time.
I'm glad
Yeah.
Brady's gone because the spotlight's off of us now. It's all about the Chiefs cheating. It's not us anymore. They left us alone. They're done with us. It's like MAGA. They'll be done with Trump when he's long
That's
gone, just
right.
like Brady when he's
That's
gone.
right.
Anyways, bye guys.
See you,
See you
brother.
later.
All right, Jen. Who's next?
Tiff.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, Tiff.
I've just been like a long time lurker ever since Kamala stepped into the role. And I kind of just felt a little bit hopeless over here in Northwest Louisiana.
Ooh, I understand. Yeah.
You're telling me I'm a military spouse, so I've moved a little bit everywhere. I grew up in Scottsdale, actually, moved to
Shout
Seattle
out.
for a long time. Yeah.
Okay.
But your show has just been such a nice relief from all of the MAGA flags in my neighborhood, and I just love it.
Thank you.
And I love listening to everybody give you a hard time. That's always great. But I was blushing with you yesterday, and I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyways, keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Tiff. Good luck. Keep fighting. That's
Yeah,
tough.
man.
You
I
got
will.
it. Okay.
Bye.
See it.
All right. Mike.
Hey, Jay, what's up?
Hey, Mike. What's up, my
Mr.
friend?
Central-
Neighbor.
Mr. Central Phoenix here, yeah.
That's right.
I was talking about I just got my ballot, whatchamacallit, the publicity pamphlet in the mail from Adrian Fontes, our Secretary of State.
Uh-huh.
And I was going over all of the ballot initiatives, especially the propositions. And we've got a lot of nasty ones here, especially some that of the legislature trying to take away gubernatorial powers, also trying to take away agency powers. I mean, it's crazy. There's so
Yeah.
many no's that I'm voting on this. It's overwhelming. What do you think of it?
Yeah, look, the writing is on the wall for the GOP here in Arizona. The demographics are changing, and they have to do everything in their power to be able to maintain power for as long as they can. So that means they've got to strip power from other agencies. They have to create new powers for themselves. They're
Right.
doing everything in their power, and I hope that Arizona residents are informing themselves at least. You can go to
I wonder how many people live over there.
What's that? Oh, Pete. That's Pete.
I think somebody
Sorry.
else is jumping in.
There we go. Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that we have the website. If you go, I think it's azledge.gov. You can get a breakdown
yeah.
of all those. But yeah, I don't think people know about it that much. That's the hard part with Trump. Is he's so distracting that stuff sneaks in. And it's a difficult thing to even trying to cover him. It's hard to be like, all right, do I cover the crazy thing he said or the crazy thing that Republicans are doing? It's hard to make
Exactly.
that decision sometimes. I think I should go over some of those maybe next week. I may do that.
Yeah, because the ballots are coming out soon, and I'm getting ready to use mine. So anyway,
Yeah.
but one more thing I just wanted to say is that whenever you say get kicked in the dick, actually did get kicked in the dick one time, and it's briefly trauma sometimes. Just thinking about it.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just joking.
I'll
Anyway,
give you a
have good
trigger
time.
alert. All right.
All right.
See you, Mike.
Bye.
I think it's Nanya.
Nanya.
Hey, Zaddy.
Hi. How are you?
Sorry about today.
No, you're not. You're not sorry at all.
You also made it flood in Tulsa. I hope you know.
Jesus Christ.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Jesus. Who's next?
Hold on. Katrina?
Sorry, Jay. I'm sorry, honey. This is a lot. Okay. I was trying to come up here to give you a little bit of motivation when you're about to meet Jasmine Crockett, but yeah.
Listen,
Sorry.
if Jasmine is 1/10 as complimentary as some of you guys are, I'm going to be thrilled.
Oh my God. Oh, I wish I could put you outside as like an ornament. That's how red your face gets.
Just objectify me more. You should be an ornament. Instead of talking, you should just be an ornament. Yeah, appreciate it.
I'm sorry. Okay. So I just wanted to put it out there, especially for all the Trumpsters and people that listen to your lives. There's over 700 people here. I just want you to understand that your peepaw, your grandparents used to be slave owners. So please don't get shocked if they come out to be like, I don't know why some people are like shocked with MAGA. They used to own people, own women, own slaves. So it's like, it shouldn't shock us when we see them be horrendous humans.
Yeah, also add every time they get real revolty, when they get real, every time it's because they're losing the ability to control someone else. Every time in the history of our country, when the conservatives get a little revolty, it's like, oh no, someone else is getting rights.
Yes. That's why it's like it's shocked. Like, I don't know why people are shocked. Like when they go after women, they used to own women. Yeah. Women had to get their permission to get everything. So it shouldn't be shocking. They want to go back to that time. So, yeah. But I also wanted to come up here and just tell you that you're important. You're special. You're going to be with the most wonderful person soon. So please give her so much love from all of us. I'm talking about Jasmine Crockett. I'm so happy that you're able to meet her. Yeah. And I hope you don't turn red. But yeah.
It's probably going to happen.
Let's be honest. He's going to sit in the corner red-faced the entire time.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, I'm about to get off. Jen, I love you so fucking much.
There you go. Yeah, that's the best way. Who's next?
KJ.
Hey, Kay. KJ.
Hey, Jay.
Hey.
I'm so bummed. I was so hoping you were going to commentate on Tina Peters today, and I had a stupid conference call that went over, and I missed the first 30 minutes. Did you record it by any chance?
Of course. It's on YouTube every day.
Okay.
At
awesome.
RTP-Talks. Subscribe while you're there. Like a video. Okay. Leave a comment. We'd love to have you. That's pretty good.
You're cutting into my time, but that's
sorry.
fine.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, in fairness, I haven't started your timer yet, so you're all right.
Oh, great.
Yeah, your timer just started, so you're good.
I listened to it live yesterday while I was working, not thinking it was going to be that big of a deal. I saw her whole mini trial. I don't know if you covered that today, but I just thought it was like, this woman is literally out of her gore, like crazy, maddening, like entitled, whatever. But I listened to the sentencing part while I was working, and I started to hear him like kind of go for it. And I jumped up from my office desk, and I'm like, what? I ran to my iPad, and I started recording from my phone. I'm like, I have to keep this like on, like, because I can't have like apps on my phone that I can on my iPad. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about what Nurse was talking about earlier about JD Vance and her conspiracy theory that she has. It's not a conspiracy theory, and I'll take it one step further. I think Peter Thiel and all those Heritage Foundation guys made a deal with Trump to put JD Vance there, and they said, look, we'll get you out, we'll pardon you, we'll put the DOJ in and just completely eviscerate all these trials and indictments. And do you know who that person is possibly going to be, which should scare the living shit out of everybody?
Who, the AG?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it Mike Davis?
No.
What's his name?
Who's the scariest person he's mentioned that he would put in his AG? Who's the scariest AG in this country?
I think Mike Davis is the most scary. Oh, Abbott?
No, well, close, you're close. AG.
Paxton, sorry.
Yeah. Can you imagine having Paxton as an AG?
Yeah, honestly, Mike Davis is on the short list. You should look up Mike Davis. He would actually somehow be worse than Paxton. He's horrific, yeah.
Well, he's bad on the Bird app, but I don't know, is he... Well, yeah, you're right. Now that I think of... Oh, God.
Yeah,
Thanks
either
for
way,
just ruining my weekend, Jay. I appreciate
whoever
that.
he chooses, it's not going to be good. I think it's a solid...
radical.
I think that's a solid conspiracy theory. I would rate that one as, like, possible. Like, or maybe not likely, but... somewhere between possible and likely. I don't think it's a bad conspiracy theory. It makes no sense. JD Vance was on nobody's list. And then all of a sudden Trump goes to Silicon Valley for a fundraiser, and the next day everybody in right-wing media is like, what about JD Vance? I mean, it was clearly a leaked story. J.D. Vance was the backup to Blake Masters. They thought Blake Masters was going to win in Arizona, and he didn't. And so then they moved on to J.D. Vance. But I think it would have been Blake Masters if J.D. Vance or if Masters would have won in Arizona. And I absolutely think you're right. I think Peter Thiel's behind it.
Makes me ill. Yeah. Listen, guys, have a great weekend. Thank you for letting me up. Bye.
Thank you. See ya. Who's next?
Let's do Peter. Or Pete, sorry. Pete.
Pete, is that a Joe Montana jersey? Pete.
You're muted, Pete. It's the bottom mic. You have to hit it to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, that's a Montana jersey.
I love it.
I didn't request up. I'm sorry. You can drop.
Oh, okay.
I love what you do, Jay.
If you agree with us, you can stay for another minute and 52 seconds.
Yeah. Well, I really don't have much to say. I'm a paraplegic. This is my first time on a live, and I enjoy sitting in every day, listening to RTP, just tear these maggots up. I really don't have much to say, to be honest with you. I like listening.
I appreciate you being here.
We're glad that we could be your first.
I
said we're glad we could be your first.
Yeah, but I'm always here because I stick right with you, Jay.
Thanks,
Niners
bro.
All the way.
Bang, bang. I appreciate that. Thank you, Pete.
We're going to the Super Bowl regardless of 2 losses.
That's right. Well, I'm glad you came up today. This was a happy mistake. It's nice to meet you.
All righty, great. Good meeting you too. Thanks for taking me up.
You bet.
All righty.
All right. Chris XL. You're muted.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Hey.
Hi. Just want to say I really I listen to you. I try to listen to you, get to you every day, and I really enjoy listening to you. I've learned so much. I was on a Trump site the other day and pro-Trump, and thanks to you, I had a lot of ammunition. And when they couldn't get to me, they just sort of kicked me out. So thank you for that.
That's awesome.
Yes. Also, I was wondering, I don't know if anyone else has brought this up, if you're aware that there are people or entities out there trying to silence or disparage a lot of Kamala influencers on TikTok. I listen to some of the young guys also, and there is a active, how could I put it, active effort to try to pit them against each other and try to silence them.
Are you talking about that Right Plight video?
I believe so, yes.
I'm iffy on that, to be honest. Jen and I were listening to it last night when I was walking, so we were texting back and forth, and I found it at first compelling, but there were some obvious flaws in some of the stuff he was saying. Like, and Jen has some recordings too of people that he claimed were certain people, and Jen knows who they are. I don't know. Maybe he's right with some of them, but it feels like Parker's been big.
It felt a little clout chasey to me.
Yeah, Parker's been big for a long time. Parker doesn't need a fake audience, and I don't think they have enough people to fake his audience with as many people coming in the box there. Do I believe that it's possible? And do I think people target Parker? Absolutely. Do I think some of those people read scripts? Absolutely. Do I think some of them are in cahoots together? Sure. I just don't know how big that is. I guess that's where I'm at. I think there's some validity into what Right Plight was saying, but I don't know how widespread it is. But yeah, and Parker, by the way, handled it all brilliantly last night. Like, that was a stressful situation. He was getting messages behind closed doors. And he knows that they're trying to bait him, and he stays calm. Parker does an incredible job. He's so valuable to the left. What he does is remarkable. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this a lot of times that people trying to take down lives isn't new. I've seen it myself that people will go and they'll try to take lives down. There's a lot of things where TikTok isn't fantastic with moderating. It takes a lot, and Parker, he has between 30 and 40 guests at a time. Sure, some people will try, but It felt very cloud chasey at times. So,
but also a lot of them did sound like Chris Mowry, and I don't know anything about voices. That just like it was convincing on that part. I have no idea what's true. I actually sent him a message. I was like, hey, if you have evidence of this, I'd be happy to talk to you. I would probably talk to him off air first, because I don't want to put information out there that I don't think is real. We'll see. I don't know if they'll message me or not.
I mean, I know voices pretty well, and there was one specifically where I was like, he's one of them, and I went and looked at his page. It was the same voice as his videos. So, but yeah. All right. Well, thanks for letting us know.
Well, thank you. Keep the good work up, and don't let anyone discourage you. You're doing fantastic work.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that.
Kim was gonna go next, if that's
terrific.
Do that.
What?
Hey, I'm just jumping in. Hey,
All right. Sorry, my defenses
I'm
were
the
up. I'm
nice
sorry.
one.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's right. So I know I was just gonna say we had an amazing bingo game during the VP debate, but I'm still waiting to hear back from one of the winners. So if you won, please check your DMs so that I can get in contact with you so that we can get your prize out to you.
There you go. And if you,
I don't know if Jackie's here
want,
right now, but if Jackie's here, please DM me.
See that, Jackie? There's Kimberly. I saw Jackie here earlier. Jackie was even like, "Yay, I won!" She was celebrating in the chat. So
I know we got to get her a prize.
All
I
right.
messaged her too. I mean, I put it in the Discord, and also Jay's got the link in his bio. We've got a bunch of merch. We've got a new soy beta cut candle. If you guys might want to check that out, we've got some shirts. We've got other fun stuff. We've got a don't get soaked umbrella. So
I'm totally buying that candle. By the way, the candle's badass. That's really cool.
Thanks. That's all Jen.
Yeah, Jen did a great job on that. Well done, friend.
Oh, it's Ash. I'm an Ash.
It's
Oh
Ash.
yeah, Ash. Yeah, Ash worked on that for sure. Well done, Ash. Jess, if you want to join the Discord, send a message to any of the moderators that are in this live right now. Send a message to any of the moderators, and they will reply back with the link to the Discord. All right. You guys have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, Kim. You're the best.
Thank you. Bye.
See ya.
All right, let's go to is it Darth at the bottom?
Some of you guys have been looking up Mike Davis. Now some of you went to Twitter and checked out Mike Davis, and now you know what I'm talking about. He's terrifying. Hey, Darth.
Hi. Actually, it's supposed to be Dark Mitria, but that K turned into an F. I don't know how that works.
It happens.
But anyway, hello. How's everybody?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm great. First of all, I wanted to say thank you to Haley for all of the fun this week, because that's been great.
Yeah.
I still am looking to create whatever cotton corn peanuts are. I said that it should be a new movie snack. Because I thought that was funny yesterday. But did I hear you're going to see Jasmine Crockett? I think I missed that earlier.
I am, yeah, on Sunday.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not today, so you'll be at date night tonight, correct?
I will be there for date night tonight with Jeffrey and all of you. We're all going on a date together.
I love it. But also I wanted to come and tell you guys and everybody in here, I was able to do absentee ballot here in Michigan, and yesterday I voted for Kamala Harris. And after I took a picture of me circling her spot on the ballot, I cried because it felt that emotional and good to me. So you should all feel that same way. I'm sure you all will. But it was wonderful. So, but I just want to come share that with somebody.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome.
Thank you all. And Jen, we all love you, even though you hate it.
You're on your way out now.
Probably.
Yep.
There it goes. All right, who's next?
Trash.
Trash. I love trash.
Trash.
Big MAGA fan.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hey, I've been listening for a long time. I'm a really big fan. I'm a garbage man, so I'm in a truck all day. So
All right,
I have all
that
the
makes
time
sense.
in the world. I live in Minnesota, and it's Minnesota's year. Vikings go all the way.
Yeah. You know how sad,
But,
you know how devastated I'm going to be if that happens? If we just gave you our backup quarterback and then he wins the Super Bowl, it's going to, but they're so good.
I've never seen a Super Bowl with my team in it, so
I like Minnesota. I like Minnesota. I have a soft spot for the Vikings. It's putting me in a weird position.
Yeah, Minnesota's good, and sorry, we're going to be in the White House, and we're going to be in the Super Bowl.
Just taking over. This is the year of Minnesota.
This is Minnesota's year. Too, I wanted to say, I also have a trans son, so I love it when you stick up for trans people. It's very close to my heart.
Good.
But one of the things that always comes to mind for me, I have a homestead, me and my wife do, and whenever somebody says, "Oh, Trump's economy," I always think about this house that we built, and the property when we found it. It was run down. The house was falling apart. The barns were falling apart. And we bought this property and we tore everything down. We cleaned it all up. We built a house. We planted trees. And we're not getting anything out of that. We built a chicken coop. I mean, we get a few eggs, but they're still young. The trees aren't growing apples yet, but we work really hard. And if someday somebody comes in and they take over this house, they're going to have apples. They're going to have the economy that I built from this rundown economy.
Yeah.
And it's up to them to keep those apples going. But if they tear the trees down, and if they pick all the apples and they sell them, and they let the property get overgrown and they let it fall apart, that's what the Republicans do every time. Is they come in and they tear down the trees, they let they let everything fall apart, and then they blame the next guy who's just trying to replant and rebuild.
Yeah.
And I just think about that every time.
It's like that conqueror mentality, and it just fuck anything standing in my way. Yeah, no, I agree. That's beautiful.
Every time they
beautiful.
Every time they blame it on Biden, I'm just like, man, he's just planting trees. That's what that Infrastructure Act is you're not going to see that today, but my children will see it.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's such a good
just
analogy.
Drives me crazy. Anyway, I'm a big fan. I'm here every day.
So you gotta start an account like Wisdom from a Trash Truck. You get all that time to think. You probably have a lot of gems like that.
Yeah, it's real loud in the truck. I'm not in the truck right now, so otherwise I can't come on and say hi. So I'm usually not able to. It's too loud where I'm at.
Well, if 1 for 1 on the appearance, well done. That's a beautiful analogy. I might steal it. I'll try and give you credit for it if I steal it.
Yeah. I've tried to fit it into a donation, but it doesn't. There's too many characters.
Well, now we got it.
All right,
Thanks,
cheers.
brother. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Our resident fan Carlos is in the comments crying already, like he does all the time.
Carlos has big feelings.
He does.
Everybody give Carlos a hug.
Sandy, he does.
Everybody.
Hello, you alright? How are you guys?
Good, Sandy. How are you?
Can you hear me? Because I've only got one AirPod on.
Yeah, you sound great.
First of all, I just want to apologize for all my messages on Discord, because when I wake up, I'm quite busy for the first 3 hours of the day trying to figure out what the hell is going on where you are. The Project 2025 document has been absolutely mind-blowing. What is there, and no one talks about it. And it's things that actually affect the things that are on Project 2025.
Okay.
It's absolutely mind-blowing that no one really talks about the content that's actually in there and that actually affect the average person. Like, for example, the capping of benefits.
Yeah.
He's promoting, because I've got a few American friends, and I said, how much are your benefits that you get per month? Is average $3,000 to $5,000, because obviously it offsets what they can't pay in cash. I says, well, do you know that Trump's promoting a cap of $12,000 a year?
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. So things like that actually affect the average person, I'm absolutely surprised no one's talking about it. They're talking about a lot of things that you don't really see, but the things that actually will have an impact on your wallet, no one talks about. So I'm trying to.
It's hard to figure out. Yeah, it's hard to figure out what we talked about this earlier, but it's hard to figure out which Trump stuff to cover. There's so much of it, and Project 2025 is tough because they all are just they all know that they're lying, but they just deny that it's part of them. So they won't even engage in that conversation. That's how good he is. They literally released their plan, and he did a carbon copy on his website, and he's like, I don't know anything about that. And his followers are like, he doesn't know. He said he doesn't know, even though it's on his website.
It just blows my mind. Just something like simple. The other thing is, I need you to give my kids a few tips. So they become 49er fans because they've just bought their British football team, which is Leeds United. So
I
the
didn't know that.
49ers now, yeah, and 49ers now own Leeds United in the UK. And well, they're in the
The
championship.
DeBarlitos or what? Yeah.
No, so they're called Leeds United.
No,
and they
the people that own
sorry.
the 49ers
Yeah,
are the DeBarlitos. Yeah.
So they've recently taken over Leeds United, and so their football team is now 49ers. Mine
Okay.
is Green Bay, and my husband's is Washington. So have you got any tips for my kids on how to deal with pain and losses of a sports team?
I think the
sports
best thing
games.
you could tell your kids is there's going to be pain and losses, but your mom and dad are Green Bay and Washington fans, so at least your pain for losses won't be as bad as theirs. So in your home, they'll still be coming out on top, so they'll be okay.
Hey, I'm only a Green Bay fan because they're cooperative and they're actually owned by its fans.
That is
I'm
cool.
yeah, and I just think that is quite unique, and you know, they have won stuff, you know, and it just shows that the model does work. But yeah, so I just want
Yeah.
to say sorry for all the posting every day. I
I
just
appreciate
feel,
it. I love it. Please keep sending it. I've used a bunch of it. When you post, I don't know from your DMs, but when you post in the news stories, I don't know if you've heard me. I've tried to give you credit. In fact, I think I have one of yours I was going to cover today. I'm pretty sure.
I know,
didn't
like I
get
said,
to
I just don't want people to think I'm spamming Discord or anything like that. So
No, I-
because
I
I'm not
think it's- I think
American,
it's
I'm not
good. That's-
American. So yeah.
No, please keep doing
No,
it.
it's good. That's why we've had people post in that channel, so it's easier to find because everything gets lost in the general chat. So
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. Keep up the
Thank
good
you.
work. By the way, I can't listen to you in the gym because I dropped my dumbbell while you were laughing today when Trump came on, and I was
Sorry.
doing some dumbbell exercise and I couldn't stop. I was starting laughing and I just dropped it on my toe. So hazard, do not listen to RTP if you're in the gym.
Z-Pack knows all the things. He pushes my buttons. He's so good. He makes me laugh more than anybody.
see that and Haley. All right,
See you
thank
later, guys. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye. See you later. Bye.
All right, Allie.
Hey, Allie.
Hello. How are you
Hey.
guys doing?
Long time no talk.
It's been a while. Crazy, but good.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Thank you. So I just wanted to give some updates a little bit on some of the Montana races that are going on.
Okay.
Primarily right now talking about Tester and Sheehy. So for those that may not know, John Tester is running for Senate again. He's the Democrat and he's been in office, I think, for like 18 years so far, and 3 terms. And so it's a really hotly contested race at this point, and it's neck and neck, and it's not necessarily looking good for Tester, which absolutely boggles my mind because to listen to Tim Sheehy speak is to actively lose brain cells. Like he is literally like if you had to rank the stupidity of MAGA, he would be below David.
That's low.
Well, the born
That's
in hell.
so low.
Is there something below hell? Because it's so dumb. So they had a debate on Monday night, and of course they covered topics, and one of the topics of course was abortion, and Sheehy is trying to take the abortion stance of protecting life, and he keeps setting his unwittingly, he does not know what he's doing, but he's setting his bar at viability. A viable baby is what he keeps saying, right?
So he's just generic.
Yeah, so I'm like, so you mean Roe?
Yeah.
So you want to reinstate Roe like Senator Tester does? Okay. And he said it a couple different times during the debate. Then when it came to housing, his idea, for a lot of people that may not know about Montana is being severely gentrified, has been for decades.
Right.
And we're being gentrified by billionaires and extremely wealthy people. Not just wealthy people, but extremely wealthy people.
And right-leaning. A
And-
lot of right-leaning, like Californians, right?
Californians, Texans, I mean, really kind of anybody who watches Yellowstone and wants to pretend to be a cowboy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's essentially what it comes down to. And so his answer to solving the housing problem in Montana was a dressed up version of, if you can't afford to live here, you should move.
Oh, brilliant. To where? The Dakotas?
He wants
Wyoming?
he wants us to move to other more rural areas in Montana that aren't getting the same population boom, as though they have the housing to accommodate us, as though they have the economies to pay us livable wages to accommodate all this growth. Like literally, he just completes the gentrification cycle in his answer. And I just did a video about it, but I wanted to encourage people. I'm sorry, I'm taking too long, but if you have a chance to help us out, we sure could use it. If you guys want to go look up Tim Sheehy and the things that he's been saying, Jon Tester. Jon Tester is by no means a sexy candidate. You know, he's just a really roll up your sleeves kind of guy and just a good old boy that gets it done. And so any exposure you guys can give Jon Tester is good. Any exposure you can give to how dumb Tim Sheehy is helpful. We say here in Montana, everybody knows somebody from Montana.
I'm on it. Consider it accepted. I accept.
You guys are the bestest, and
Thanks,
I
Allie.
will happily bow out. Have a great day.
You too. Have a good weekend. All right, Jen. Who's next? Galactic Macaroni. Looks like.
Yep.
There we go.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
First, I just wanted to say to Sandy, don't ever apologize for, giving us information. Unlike MAGA, we're not allergic to that. So I didn't know about this, the JD Vance 25th Amendment thing, and I'm now upset. Sorry. I'm now obsessed with it.
Watch out.
We're right outside. Oh, it's actually about to be really bad in like 5 minutes, so I gotta hurry up.
Excuse me?
I'm obsessed with it now,
What?
and I just don't understand the very...
What's going to be
I
really
live next
bad?
to a school.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. Sorry.
I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
25th Amendment, and you hadn't heard of it, and now you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it's
What's
so
the
weird.
fan
Like,
law?
I don't understand like where like Russia and Israel fit into that. Like, if they get rid of, and then like you lose the cult too if he usurps Trump, right? Like,
Well, I
there's
think
so
a
much
lot,
like weird variables there.
I think part of the conspiracy theory is that like Trump's kind of in on it. That they're saying like we'll get you elected, we'll get rid of all your litigation, we'll remove you with the 25th or whatever, and then we'll pardon you. I think that's depending on. I mean, there may be other conspiracy theories, but that's the one I've seen put forward.
That doesn't feel like it's in line with a malignant narcissist.
It doesn't, does it? That's why I have a hard time believing it too. But I just don't think Peter Thiel and these folks would leak it on purpose. So it's either it's completely made up or they're leaking it for a reason, and I haven't figured out which one it is yet.
Yeah. Thank you guys for making me. I'm gonna be thinking about this for the next 4 hours.
Have a terrible weekend. I hope you enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
I
friend.
appreciate y'all. See you later tonight.
Beth.
Hello, guys. How
Hey.
are you?
Couldn't be better.
Good. So, two things. One story is kind of flying on the radar in my neck of the woods. So it's WGBH. That's our media source here that's reporting it, and it's about the platform Odyssey, ODYSEE, and the platform that got the seed money from some Boston elites. One is a co-founder of TripAdvisor, and it's a neo-Nazi.
It's where
people
Alex
are on the
Jones.
platform.
That's where Alex Jones does his
Yes.
stuff now. Yeah.
Yes, so a story came out a few days ago, and it's traced back to some Boston elites that put some seed money into this. It's a whole article that it's WGBH that reported it.
I feel like I don't know if I just read this or covered it a little while ago. Yeah, it was the crypto guys, right? That's where the people funding it were like crypto
and
guys.
then I guess they went out of business or something, and then they went and traced it even further back to because that was New Hampshire, and then it somehow came back to Boston.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna look more into this.
So just a FYI. And then the last thing was, I didn't want anyone to dehumanize Tina Peters too much. I felt pity for her just like you did. So I wanted to tell a quick truish story. She's 69 years old, and little do people know that she's a virgin. And a couple of years back, she was like 67 years old, and the 67-year-old
That
Tina
streak might end
Peters-
in prison, by the way. We'll see.
Well, 67-year-old virgin Tina Peters went to the doctors, said something's wrong with her. And they came out and they were like, you have crabs. And she was like, there's no way I have crabs because I'm a 67-year-old virgin named Tina Peters. And so she was like, I want a second opinion. So she went to another doctor. Doctor came out and was like, I got good news and bad news. She's like, what's the good news? He's like, you do not have crabs. She's like, all right, what's the bad news? He said, your cherry dried up. You got fruit flies.
Oh, jeez.
Ba-dum-bum. You do not have crabs. She's like, all right, what's the bad news? He said,
Thanks, Beth.
bye, guys. Happy
See ya.
weekend.
You too. I wasn't ready for that. All right, Jen, who's next? Electric, looks like.
Yeah.
Electric.
You know, the joke was she didn't have crabs. She had fruit. Her cherry dried up, and she had fruit flies. It was the end.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I didn't know I requested, but yeah, I've been listening to you guys. Well, as long as I'm on, I got a joke for you.
Hell yeah.
We had our first frost up here in Minnesota, and so why was the snowman smiling?
I don't know.
Because he saw the snowblower coming. Oh, sorry.
I like that one a lot. Yeah, I appreciate that one. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was just a little off. I ran to my phone. I heard electric.
You made the most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just doing my job here, losing my shorts, as they say. You know.
Keep them on. You may want to keep those on. It sounds like there's other people around you.
Oh, that's my wife getting after me.
Well,
Well, I'll get in trouble. So.
No, keep it up.
Thanks,
You're doing
bud.
great.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Electric.
Bye.
See ya. Perkins, 54. Love everyone.
That's right. That's right. How you been, my man?
Good, my man. How you been?
I can't complain. Hey, man, we got Arizona this weekend. What you think?
Yeah, it's a home game.
As a home, that's what I said.
Is it it's at Arizona, right?
No, we're at home.
Oh, well, I thought it was in Arizona. It's a home game when we're in Arizona too.
Well, no,
Yeah.
we'll play Arizona at the end of the year in Arizona.
Yeah, I'll be afraid of Arizona when they get a full-size quarterback. Until then, I'm not going to be worried about them.
I know it. They need a whole new quarterback. Mary ain't gonna work, bro. It ain't gonna work.
Yeah, they got 3/4 of one.
You sure know what to say. Oh man, these people crazy. You going to Jeff tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Be there in a couple hours.
Good deal. Cause you know these stupid maggots done got no common sense, so you know you'll eat them up all night. So
we're on it. Yeah.
I'm used to yeah, none of them got common sense at all. I don't get it. I don't know how they do it.
It's common. It's common between them, whatever it is.
Whatever it is, that's right.
Yeah.
They ain't no but sheep.
That's right.
Ain't no but sheep, my brother.
Yeah.
Hey Jen, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Keep up the good work. I didn't want nothing, y'all. I hope y'all enjoy your weekend. I am gonna watch some good college football this weekend. Relax.
That's right. Me too. We'll see you. We'll see you Sunday. Bang bang.
Bang bang. Y'all be good.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Anima. I asked before. Did I say that right? Anima.
Yeah, anima. Just out of the empathic anomalia is my full
That's
name.
right.
But yeah. Hey, everybody. And Jen, I hate you because I love you.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I didn't hear, because I know you usually have somebody come on and reference vote.org and how people are getting removed from the voter registration. So everybody go to vote.org and it's vote.org, right? Yeah, vote.org and check. It's very quick. It takes less than a minute to check, and it'll just say you're registered. And I'm going to take some of this time for that too. Before I forget though, Jay, did you check out usafacts.org? Because you seemed like you really were interested in that site when I pointed it out to you. It rose in the ranks on Ad Fontes interactive media bias chart very quickly to be like the most factual, non-biased data site.
Yeah,
and I pointed it out to you before, but usafacts.org.
Yeah, I used it for the fentanyl. There was like a fentanyl article that they had about the what is it? Are fentanyl overdose deaths rising in the United States? I read that I don't know if it was this morning or last night when they were talking about the what was that group called, the Peckerwoods getting caught in California. Then I went and I read that. So yeah, it's great.
Nice. And I have noticed it coming up more because, I do a lot of research, and it has been getting, rising in the Google charts as well. So very good to see that.
Good.
Yeah. But at any rate, so everybody, usafacts.org, definitely a wonderful site for research and just very clear data. And they keep all their data sets very visible. With the 19 seconds, I actually got removed from Oregon's voter registration. I had been told, and I got 10 seconds up. I'd been told that I could do a certain thing with my signature, and I went longer doing a different version of my signature, but I put both of them on there. And then I then switched to the new version of the signature, and my wife actually watched me sign it and said, "They're going to kick you off the registration." I said, "Whatever. No, I did exactly what I was told to do on this signature because it's Oregon, it's mail-in ballots." And they did. They kicked me off. They actually sent somebody to the house too. And
crazy.
Yeah, right. They actually sent somebody to the house, but I was at work, right? And I forgot. And they told me the midterm ballot, it didn't go through, right? So I was able to fix it. I just want to tell people, this has never happened to me in my life. Never would have guessed it would happen. So even in places like Oregon where we're not as concerned, they're not trying to take us off the ballot, So
yeah.
Anyway, thanks everybody.
Well, I appreciate
Thanks
it.
for the
Yeah,
extra time,
thank you. Facts.org. usafacts.org. Sorry. There we go.
usafacts.org and vote.org.
And vote.org. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend. Your mommy.
Okay, real quick, you guys, we're not taking any others after this, so if you're in request, we've hit our limit for today.
You are mommy? Your mommy?
Your.
Could be either one. But you are muted, and you're muted.
Okay, hey.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Oh, thanks for having me on, Jay.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
I think I might have. Thanks. I've been watching you for a while, like most people. But I think I've kind of cracked some of the code of why MAGA is MAGA. And I just wanted to tell everybody my thoughts on it, and you guys can see what you think. But most families will have a scapegoat, or what you would call like the black sheep of the family. And usually it's a kid that's really honest and, asks a lot of questions. And the parent, one of the parents or both, won't like the kid asking questions or being honest because they have things to hide. So this kid now becomes bullied and ostracized while the other kids watch this kid get bullied. They can't do anything because if they speak up, then they'll get bullied too. And I think that's the way that it is with Donald Trump. People that have grown up in these toxic atmospheres kind of align with Trump because they've always been protected because of the scapegoat.
Yeah.
You see
No,
what
no,
you know what I
100%.
mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And so that's just what I think a lot of MAGA is just a bunch of people who are too afraid to say, hey, we should seek out the truth, or we should ask these questions because they've been taught not to do that, but just to follow the bully.
Yeah, if it's not a group of people who are being led by fear, then why is all their messaging fear-mongering? How come every time somebody from their side is speaking, it's to scare us into something? Like you can't say we're not led by fear and then all your leaders lead by fear. It's the most self-unaware group of humans that I think has ever existed on a mass scale. It's crazy.
Yeah. So that's just what I wanted to run by people. So when they question why are they like this, it probably is just grooming from when they were a kid, and it's hard to want to speak up because then you know that you're not going to be a part of that group anymore. You could be bullied, so they just sit back and just let it happen.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for having me up.
Thank you. Have a
day.
good weekend. Thanks.
Thank you.
See ya. All right, everybody. That's it. I got to get a little break, spend some time with my daughter before date night with Jeff. Thank you. We did hit our goal today for gift goals. Thank you guys again for the generosity this week. You guys have been great. If you haven't gifted Jen and you wanted to gift Jen, now's your chance. There's only a couple more minutes. a reminder, if you weren't here at the beginning, we covered Tina Peters. Trump paid us a visit, and we covered some other interesting stories. So if you want to watch the replay, go to it's YouTube at RTP-Talks. You can find the replay there. That link's in our bio. You can also find links to my Twitter, Instagram, and our merchandise store. What the? Oh, Jen, that was weird. That's what I sound like. I sound like an idiot. And then my voice just cracked. So you can get the merch there. If you want to invite to the Discord, shoot me a message, shoot Jen a message, or any moderators that you see in the chat, you can shoot them a message. Especially on Friday night when we're hanging out on Friday night and I don't have to control the live. I'll hang out in Discord a little more, so it's easier to follow sometimes than the comment section. So I'll be there tonight. I'll be with my future wife, Jasmine Crockett, on Sunday. And did I miss anything, Jen?
Merch.
Be with my... Man, you got a crazy echo.
Just the merch stuff. We've got the link for merch in the bio, the link tree in the bio. There's a link for that. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, and then
raid.
Oh yeah, who do we want to raid?
I'm gonna look and see who's on.
I don't know what time on Sunday. It's Sunday afternoon, I think. It's a block party. That's what they're calling it. So I don't really know what I tried to get details. I was like, can I get some details so I know like what to wear or like what equipment I can bring? And they were like, it's just regular. I'm like, all right, I don't know what that means.
We've got, Pickles is on, Joanne's on.
We just did Pickles. Doug, we haven't raided Doug for a while. Let's raid Doug. Tell Doug.
Doug's not on.
Oh.
People put names in the comments
they
that they're
just
not
lie?
actually on.
Let's visit. Let's see.
Or Mishi's on.
Who's
Mishi,
Alina?
Jovan.
Who is Alina? Do I not know Alina?
Alina's on with Jones sometimes, and is she on right now?
Is she on, guys?
Let me look. I've got my other phone.
She's the one that goes with No Rads. Yeah. And No Rads was here earlier. Donate. Yes, let's go raid Alina.
Her handle is Miss Alina. So MissAlina. If you guys want to put that, someone wants to put that in the chat.
All right, I'm going over there too.
Miss Alina.
All right. Anything else, Jen?
I think that's it.
Thank you for everything this week. You guys have been incredible. I look forward to seeing those of you who are coming for date night tonight between 3:30 and 4 Pacific time. Let's all get elevated and talk to MAGA together. And if I don't see you tomorrow or tonight, I'll see you Monday morning bright and early, hopefully with a smile on my face and an engagement to announce. I'll let you know. Everybody stay cute and cool. Have a great